All right. I believe we are live here. Let's double check the channel. And of course, it's got to go through a commercial first. Oh, I think. Do I have audio? I don't think I have audio. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. We do. Okay. Oh, I know what's going on. I know what's going on. What's going on is that I'm just bad at technology because I'm old. What's going on is I had my Bluetooth headphones on and my phone connected to those. So I was checking the audio on my phone and there was no audio because it was going through my Bluetooth headphones. What am I doing? Camera. Why is the camera not working? Guess you guys don't really need me on camera today, but my camera's not working. I don't know why my camera's not working. Can I change it from here? I don't know if I can. Not that it really matters. I guess we can just add another one. Is there a way to do that? I think there's a way to do it, but I can't remember how to do it. Is it this? No, that's not it. I'll figure it out. Bear with me here. Video capture device. Nope. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm not going to deal with it right now. Let's go ahead and shut that off. Shut that off. Let's delete that. Let's delete that. And hey, Breeze, what's up, man? No camera today. No camera today. I can't figure out what's going on, and I don't want to sit here and screw with it for the next hour. So no camera today. I am doing well, my friend. How are you? Yeah. Well, you need to see me. You don't need to see me. You guys don't need to see me. You know what? I got to do this. I have to, hang on. I got to promote myself, right? Let's promote that. And we'll go here and probably that's the hope, Breeze. That is the hope, my man, that people come in and, well, I mean, we hope they come in because they find what I do interesting. But yeah, more often than not, it's with the exception of the very small minority of you, it's people are coming in for the drops, which is totally fine. I don't really care. So, I forgot to sim through spring training. Oh, so we're gonna do spring training here. So for those of you watching on YouTube, hello, my name is Aaron. This is another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 24 with the Chicago White Sox. Those of you joining me on Twitch, welcome. And yeah, we gotta do all this. I didn't even think about this. It's been like a week since I've played, so I had kind of forgotten where everything was. That's right. We picked up Cantorino. That was 2 years ago now, right? Yeah. Serna is not quite ready. Vera's. I mean, we may as well give him a shot at this point. Let's see what we can get out of him. I'll let the AI set up my bullpen. What is on the agenda this season? Hopefully winning some ball games, my man. I do want to kind of run through because there were a couple of things that I did after I ended last episode and before we kind of kicked off this one. I don't know how far I'm going to get in this. I don't want to. I'm finding myself, in order to try to have everything done by 9 o'clock, which is when I like to be done, I'm finding myself rushing through July, and I really don't want to rush through July because it's important, right? So we're just going to play, and we'll go as long as we can go, and then whatever happens, and, I'll just pick up in the next episode. So, yeah, there were a couple of things that went on in between the last couple of episodes. So we traded, I'll just kind of work backwards. We traded Elijah Dukes, who is a 21-year-old first baseman with not a lot of power, low work ethic, had been in rookie ball. And we picked up Mark Leiter. We picked up Mark Leiter because he's incredibly popular, and he's not a terrible pitcher. Every month is, yeah, that's a good point. Every month is important. That's a good point. So we picked up Mark Leiter from the Cubs because he's a good pitcher, and he was popular. So we picked him up. If we go back to January, this is kind of where all the stuff happened. So in the never-ending drive, we signed Miguel Rojas to a 1-year, $7 million contract. So we brought him back. So I don't know if you watched the last episode, which was the offseason. Rojas was a free agent, and we didn't really have a better option. I didn't want Rafaela playing shortstop, so we brought Miguel Rojas back. That was the first deal. That was the first signing we made. And then we made 2 trades. So in the never-ending quest to fix our catching situation, we traded, Reed Detmers along with Jared Kelly and Petey Halpin. So Halpin, we picked up a couple of years ago from Cleveland. He never really played. He didn't play in the big leagues for us at all. He's not a very good defensive outfielder. He's a decent enough bat, but he's not a very good defensive outfielder. We traded him. Jared Kelly, who still has some, I don't know that he has any room to grow, but he has the high work ethic, which means he could potentially grow. He was okay in Double-A last year. And then Reed Detmers, who isn't bad. 3 really good pitches. Wasn't bad last season, but it's going to start to get expensive. So we traded those 3 guys to the San Francisco Giants in exchange for Adrian Sugastey. Sugastey, rookie last year, 225, 282, 279. Not great offensively, but better offensively than any catcher we've had since we've started this sim, and he's very good defensively. And he's only 23 years old. So our catching situation now is Hunt, Pavloni, and Sugastey. So I don't know who's going to stay up. Pavloni was another trade guy that we picked up last season. Yeah, Detmers is just a dummy is the problem, and Out of the Park just thinks he's stupid. So there's that. So we picked up Pavloni in the last episode, and then we also have Blake Hunt, who we picked up in the Rule 5 this year. So we've got 3 catchers that we have to figure out something to do with. Pavloni is the only one with options. Well, technically Sugastey's got options as well, but Hunt's a Rule 5 guy, so we'd have to send him back. So it'll probably be Hunt and Sugastey, or Sugastey. I don't know how to pronounce it. If Ranger were here, he could tell me. He's a Giants fan. And then the other deal we made, and I had alluded to this on my Discord. I had sort of asked for the opinions of people regarding some trades, and we picked up Benny Montgomery from the Colorado Rockies. We'll show you what we gave up first. We gave up Frankeli Arias, who's a 22-year-old, I guess, filler. I mean, he's not very good. Ariston Vesey, who was one of our, was a draft pick of ours a couple of years ago. Looks all right, I guess. I mean, the bat's fine. Catcher ability's fine. He's 20 years old. And Jose Alvarado, who we had traded for in the previous season. He's only making $900,000 this season. But this is what Colorado wanted in order to lock it down. I figured we had enough depth in the bullpen to make it work. So those 3 players to Colorado in exchange for Benny Montgomery. Benny tore up Double-A last season. He's very good defensively. He's got a lot of speed. He could very easily be our leadoff hitter. If not this season, then next. Still not great against righties, but a pretty good hitter against lefties, but very good defensively, very good speed. So those are the deals that we made kind of in the last episode, or in between the last episode and this one. And yeah, so I think now What does the game want to do? It wants Quan, Meadows, and Newt Bar in the outfield with Montgomery, Rafaela. Look at all the outfielders we have. We have a surplus. Yeah, he can, Breeze. He can. He can platoon multiple outfield positions well. Ideally, though, he's our starting center fielder. He has the range for center field. The game wants to start Parker Meadows out in center, which makes sense from a defensive perspective. But this is just spring training, so we're just gonna sim through spring training. I'm gonna sim a week at a time, so that I can bump the pitch counts of all of my pitchers, and yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I usually do spring training offline, but I just forgot to do it. So Norge Vera, we stuck him in the rotation, and okay. 75 stuff, 80 movement, 35 control. Would I play him in spring training? Yeah. I use spring training a lot of times to have people learn new positions. Like having him in as the DH doesn't make any sense, honestly. But the control is yikes, yeah. But with that power or with that stuff and that control, and he's a ground ball pitcher, you can get away with it. I think we'll see though. So Rafaela's ratings have started to dip. I think we probably use him as kind of that catch-all backup utility guy, because our starting outfield is absolutely going to have Nootbaar and Quan. Well, maybe Nootbaar's our DH because he's not as good a defensive player as Arozarena. So I think Arozarena is probably our starting our starting left fielder. Our starting right fielder's probably Quan. This doesn't have the arm. Quan's our starting center fielder, I think. And then we probably put Meadows in right. I don't know. You prioritize stuff for most pitchers. Oh, we got commercials going on. Ads. It's always ads. Player development. Vera gets better. So for those of you hanging out here with us on YouTube, you don't have to worry about the ads. But yeah, Breeze, I know. I didn't do anything. I waited for the ads to finish. We also picked up Jace Chung, but I think we did that last episode, yeah. Cesares was one of our international guys a couple years ago. Looks like he's starting to improve his stuff drop, but his movement and his control get better. All right. Sim a week at a time. I wasn't saying anything. I was just saying that Vera, you can get away with his. You can get away with that. You can get away with that control because of the stuff, the movement, and the 3 elite pitches, along with him being an extreme ground ball pitcher. So you can get away with it. Or at least we're going to see if you can get away with it because he is going to be a starter. FJ, what's happening, my brother? 8 months in a row. Look at you, RJ Mayer party. I don't think RJ has. I don't think he's really a thing here in this one. Yeah, RJ's not going to make it in this world, unfortunately. It's a shame, but it is what it is. You leverage TH. You can leverage Montgomery to. You mean in the outfield? Like play him in the outfield so that Arozarena and Nootbaar. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's probably makes the most sense. But I could also do the same thing with Rafaela, who's as good a defensive player. The bat's actually not as good, but yeah. That's a good point. So, all right. Yeah, I don't know how much you guys saw, but I usually don't do spring training online like this. I just forgot to do it offline, so we're gonna sim through spring training here really quickly. FJ, yeah, FJ, you're a special Mariners fan, my friend. You are a special Mariners friend. You would quadruple A, really? I see. I was planning on using him as and I'm gonna bump pitch counts for everybody to 60 for a week. This is how I've been doing it, and I've noticed I've been getting fewer and fewer injuries this way in spring training. So I go 40 pitches for the first week, 60 for the second week, and then 80 pitches for weeks 3 and 4. And I've had almost no injuries from a pitching perspective. Yeah, see, I almost want Rafaela. I want him as my utility guy because he can play everywhere. So he's, he gives me the opportunity to maybe keep a bat up that can't field or something like that because I've got Rafaela kind of sitting there as that fill in. So it's kind of the way I'm thinking about it. Yeah, no camera. No camera. Oh, absolute FJ. Yeah, 100%, man. Enjoy it for sure. No camera for me today because it wouldn't turn on when I started OBS, and excuse me, I don't know why. So no camera today. Bump this now to 80. Oh, and Norge Vera. I don't know if you guys saw this. I don't know if you jumped in when you saw this. Thank you, Breeze. But Norge Vera's ratings absolutely just went through the roof. His control is obviously not good, but potential 80 stuff in movement with an 80 fastball, 75 slider, and a 70 curveball. You wish the managers take out. Yeah, it makes sense, right, in spring training, but if you leave it alone, they'll pitch 60, 70, 80, 100 pitches in spring training. They'll only go 3 or 4 innings, but they'll pitch a ton. So that's just how I've been doing it. And I've noticed it's been working. So there is. Hang on. He just got an increase, and as soon as I say no injuries, we get one right there. Yeah, it spiked. It literally just spiked. He had stayed level, and it just. Yes, I play as manager and GM. You've gone from seeing Dustin Ackley, there's a name, to being your franchise cornerstone to Hulu. Oh, FJ, I don't think I ever told you this. You want to hear something really, really, well, I'm upset about it. So I went to a baseball game back in 1990. You would probably know better than I would. 95, I think. What was A-Rod's rookie year? What was Alex Rodriguez's rookie year? He was 18 years old. That had to have been 95, 96, something like that, FJ. So I went to a Red Sox game, and they were playing Seattle. And it was Alex Rodriguez's rookie season. And oh, wait, I got an injury. I didn't want to increase I got to bump these back down to 60 for the rest of the week. Whatever his rookie year was, when he came up when he was 18, whenever that was. 95. Okay, so yeah, I thought it was 95. So we lose Cantorino for 8 weeks. So I went to for like the 5th time now, I went to a Red Sox Mariners game in 95, and I was there with my my girlfriend and my cousin, who was from or is from Olympia, Washington. So the 3 of us were watching the game. We had seats down the first base line. And I went up and I went to the bathroom. And I came back, and my girlfriend and my cousin were just looking at each other. And they're like, neither of them, like they both had something to say to me, but neither of them wanted to say anything to me. And it turns out that while I was in the bathroom, Alex Rodriguez had come up and he'd hit a foul ball that landed in my seat. And it ended up a couple rows behind me because I wasn't there to catch it. So I could have had an Alex Rodriguez foul ball from his rookie season, but I wasn't there to catch it. So that's my story. I guess it wasn't really all that interesting, but yeah, that's my story. You hate A-Rod? Shreddy, you're playing journeyman manager, started in Cubs AAA. Interesting. I've played this game for 15 years, and I have never played sort of like a manager mode. Never. Yeah, I don't think it was 94 there. I think it was probably 95. But that's less important than the story itself, which is I let an Alex Rodriguez foul ball hit my seat because I was in the bathroom. So, all right. So Bryce Elder has got a strained oblique. I think it probably makes sense to injured list him for the time being. And this will be our starting rotation. throw it back. Well, when he was 18, he wasn't, I'm going to air quotes, my camera's off, you guys can't see me. He wasn't A-Rod in 95, right? He was the young superstar in the making of the Seattle Mariners. He wasn't, all roided up, Jennifer Lopez, Alex Rodriguez. He was a different guy back then. All right, so we are at March 8th. Let's just sim to the 1st. We'll get our scouting reports. We'll cut our rosters down. And oh, right, there are 31 days in March. I forgot. I hate A-Rod because he played for the Yankees. It's very easy for me. And he slapped Bronson Arroyo like a little girl. All right, so we got player development. Serna gets better. Love to see the continued growth from Luis Serna. Do we start Serna in AA or AAA? The rating suggests AAA, but he hasn't pitched in AA ball yet. So, his ratings are, I think AA is the way to go with him for now, right? He's a whiny bitch and he was a Yankee. Yes! Oh, Breeze, 100%. I was all for the A-Rod Manny, the A-Rod and Manny trade before the commissioner nixed it. Yeah, 100%. I was all about having Alex Rodriguez on the Red Sox, 100%. But the minute he went to the Yankees, I hated him. So that's just how it goes. So we get some nice improvement here. So Robinson gets a little worse, but his ratings still look fine. Perez was a Rule 5 guy last year. His ratings look really good. Are you really going to ignore the I see what you did there. It's a play on words, if you will. He was a prima donna, and it was also pre-Madonna. I like it. All right, I'm with you. I just didn't see it. I apologize. Marcelo Meyer's ratings have started to drop, which is not encouraging, but we will continue to stick him out there every day at second base. Montgomery, his eye gets a little better. Kashiwabara, we're probably going to move on from him sooner rather than later. And I think, Boston Kellner, his pitching ratings absolutely tanked. He's down to 50, 45, 40, but his offensive ratings got better. So I made him a second baseman, and he went from like 2040 to 2080 at second base. He's out for 3 weeks with a concussion, but as a hitter, Boston Kellner looks elite. So I just moved him to second base, and he got a ton better. Yeah, I'm sorry, Random. See, they didn't want him to take a pay cut, is essentially what it was. So they told him no. But yes, I was 100% for Alex Rodriguez as a member of the Red Sox. 100%. All right, we have to cut our roster down. And then we got a game against Seattle. The hated Seattle Mariners. We have to send 3 pitchers to the minors. Connor Phillips. Yeah, Connor Phillips. He's terrible. Where do I send Serna, guys? Do I send him to AAA or do I send him to... I think I send him to AA. I think we're going to go to AA with Serna. Can I look up Christopher Morel? That was a good one, man. Random test. That was a good one. Have you been sitting on that? Like, have you been waiting for the right opportunity to use that? Like, you could have used it with Jose Canseco too, right? Augusto11, thank you for the follow, my friend. Yeah, Random test. You could have used that if I had brought up Jose Canseco. You could have had a prima donna joke in there as well. You want to look up Christopher Morel? All right. We traded him to the Cubs on 12/29/25. He hit 267, 364.01 in AAA for us a year ago. Hit a $189 for us the year before that. He's not particularly good. You just came up with it. Oh, well, that's really creative, man. You should be proud of yourself. We have to send one more pitcher to the minor leagues, and who's it going to be? Casetta Stubbs has got 4 really good pitches. I mean, we've got a couple of pitchers here in Alamon and Casetta Stubbs who both could be potential like long men slash, emergency starter types. But our bullpen is so good that one of these guys doesn't make it. 55, 50, 45. I think it's going to be Casetta Stubbs. He's a star for you in AAA. Yeah, I was hoping he would turn into a decent player. That's why we traded for him from the Cubs, but he didn't. FJ, you admit you're also a whiny bitch. I don't think you're a bitch. Unrelated, Reggie Jackson played more games with the Angels than the Yankees. Yep, he sure did. He sure did. 33. So we got to cut 7. Hazley, Chappelli, Kachiwabara, Arias, Pavloni. That's 5. Does anybody want Adam Hazley before I just DFA him? And yeah, guys, my goal isn't necessarily to get to the end of July today. Oh, Josh. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't get my camera to work. I turned on OBS and the camera didn't turn on, so I'm not going to deal with it right now. I didn't feel like shutting the screen down or shutting the stream down rather and turning it on. So yeah, no camera today. It's fine. You all know what I look like. We're 28 out of 20. So we had to send 2 players to the minor leagues. I think Rodriguez goes down because the reality is that Rafael is a better shortstop. So Rodriguez will go down. And he's also a better second baseman than Jung. And we've got Jaloff, who played well in his time last year. I think it's going to be Jace Jung. Yeah, I remember that. I remember when he kicked that baseball. All right, we got to set our rosters because we have our 26. C. Sprash, Dollard, Houck, and Vera. Are we okay with that? No, I think Houck is our number 3. Dollard will be our 4, and Vera will be our 5th. Bullpen-wise, it wants Cam Robinson as our closer, which I think is okay. He was our closer last year. I think he was our stopper last year, actually. Ellard, if he can stay healthy. Was he hurt last year? No, he just pitched in AAA. But he was really good once we called him up. Max Meyer. He was really good a year ago. Do I really want to... Normal. Rodriguez, we're going to list as a middle reliever. High leverage guy, I think. So we'll go high leverage. Specialist, middle relief, and Meyer. I think, no, we'll do this. Cam Robinson and high leverage as well. A lot about how the A-Rod hate is really unfair. I don't know. The only reason I don't like Alex Rodriguez is because he played for the Yankees and he tried to slap the baseball out of Bronson Arroyo's hand like a little girl. But I don't really hate Alex Rodriguez. The best left-handed player born on November 21st in Donora, Pennsylvania. I couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. Batting ratings. Is Rosarena our leadoff hitter? Who's our leadoff hitter last year? I don't even remember. Is it Rosarena? No, we got Yandy Diaz. Right, Yandy Diaz is our leadoff hitter. Diaz in the number 1 spot. Quan in the 2-hole. Quan is our starting center fielder, or is it? Is Quan our starting left fielder? Rosarena. Newpar's a lefty. Gorman is a lefty. So I think we go Rosarena. Newtbar is our DH. We have to go lefty, I think. Gorman over at third. Oh, that's right. Musial or Griffey? That's hard. I mean, Griffey was the better defensive player. I think Ken Griffey Jr. was probably the better overall baseball player. I think Stan Musial is probably the better hitter. How's that for a non-answer? Does that work? Starting right fielder. Does Benny Montgomery make the team out of? Is he our starting right fielder out of spring training? I think he is. So Marcelo Meyer in at second. Stay as our catcher, and Rojas as our shortstop. Well, yeah, of course. But yeah, I think Griffey's probably the better baseball player, but I think Musial's probably the better hitter. That's gonna be my answer. All right, so what does this want to do? It wants no, I don't want Gorman. No, we're gonna do a Rosarena as the backup DH every fifth game, so that gets them both out there yeah. New season of Barry starts tonight? Are you kidding? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, absolutely hell yes. You know I love me some Barry. 100%. I bet he can throw a knuckleball. I bet you if you ask Ken Griffey Jr. to throw you a knuckleball, he could do it. That'll be perfect timing. It'll be when the stream is ending. I guarantee you if you ask Ken Griffey Jr. to throw you a knuckleball, he could do it. Whether or not he could do it regularly in a game, I couldn't tell you. But yeah, I guarantee you he could throw a knuckleball. So Meadows going to start in center field every fourth game, so Rosarena will start in left there. Raffaello will be the backup in right. Raphael looks like he's going to play a handful of games here, which is what I wanted. Yeah, it might. But that's fine. The question wasn't could he throw a knuckleball in a major league game, but could he throw a knuckleball? What did I just do? This is me not paying attention. I think I'm a little thrown here because I'm not on camera. I think it's throwing me off a little bit. What do I want to do against lefties? I think Jaloff needs to be out there a little bit more against lefties. Raffaella needs to be out there more against lefties. Marcelo doesn't have terrible splits. Gorman isn't great against lefties, so I think Jaloff probably plays every second game against lefties. That gets him some playing time. No, it doesn't depend on the definition of throw. If you ask Ken Griffey Jr. to throw you a knuckleball, he could throw you a knuckleball. If you asked him to throw a knuckleball consistently for a strike, or if you asked him to throw it in a professional baseball game, it might be a different answer, but Meadows out there every third game, except he can't hit lefties. Against who will be Jaloff will be there with a Rosarena there. That gets them some playing time. Yeah, I loved me some Tim Wakefield. Absolutely loved Tim Wakefield. Almost saw him throw a no-hitter against the A's. Again, this may have been 95. You can look it up. He threw a one-hitter against the A's in, let's see. Find it. I'm now going to find it. Tim Wakefield. No-hitter A's. Where is it? Oh, where is it? I can't remember. I want to say it was early 1995. Let's look up Boston Red Sox baseball reference. 94? I can't remember. I'm going to look it up now. What am I doing? I think it was here. It was early in the season. This doesn't help me. Where is there? Apparently, I don't know how to use Baseball Reference. What is wrong with me? You guys can't see what I'm doing right now. It's just ridiculous. I'm sitting here just clicking buttons on Baseball Reference trying to get to 1995. And I literally am just going backwards day by day or year by year here. I'm at 2008 because I'm just terrible at this. Yeah, I mean, it's unique, you know? I mean, it's something that you just don't see. All right, there is that. Let's see. Where's the game by game? Oh, here it is. Schedule and results. Oakland. Here it is right here. Yep, Wakefield went 7 1/3 innings, gave up 2 hits. He'd given up none through 7. Red Sox won 1-0 on a sacrifice fly by Tim Naring. Oh, wait, no. Man, I think this is one of those things. This might not be the right game. This isn't the right game because this is in Oakland. But I know I saw Tim Wakefield almost pitch a no-hitter against Oakland. Anyway, I've got my dates all screwed up. Torvar72, thank you for the follow. Anytime you start something within 1990 something, it predates me. It makes me feel old, man. Makes me feel old. All right, player. We already looked at player development. He wants us to stay respectable on the field. I think we can do that. Saranez, the number 8 prospect in the game. Our minor league system is 3rd. Considering we were dead last when we took over, I would say getting to 3rd within 3 years is pretty good. Saranez, the number 8 prospect in baseball. Appleby, I'm unsure. I'm unsure of what I want to do with Caleb Appleby. I really am considering trading him. He looks like he could be really good, but there were some interesting prospects that were available. He graduated high school. I graduated high school in 94. So Tovar, I'm right there with you. You just got this game and you want to do a historical franchise, but you're not sure how you should set the settings. I mean, how far back do you want to go? You know, I mean, the game takes care of a lot of that for you. Dono, thank you for the follow, my man. Yeah, Torvar, a lot of that the game will set for you in historic, like it'll shut off free agency and it'll do all that stuff for you based on when you start the game. But just from a general perspective, some of the things that I change, so you can kind of see. So all of these will be based on when you start the game. So the active roster size and whether or not there's a DH or, you know, all that stuff will all be based on when you FJ quiet. Jay Tanner, how you doing? Thank you. 1970. Yeah, if you start in 1970, it will give you like all this stuff will be set for you. But if you want to tweak stuff, you know, I turn on allow trading of injured players. This is always off by default. I always turn this on. All your financials are all going to be set based on the year that you start. I like to change the talent change randomness anywhere. If it starts at 100, bump it anywhere from 105 to 115. This will give you a little bit more randomness in your game plays. You know, you might have Johnny Bench turn into an average catcher, and you might have some scrub become a star, and that's kind of one of the cool things about the game. So, you know, that's something I like to change. Your trade evaluation, I like to set it like this, where it rates the player the player evaluation is based 30% off of their ratings, 40% it's based off their current year stat, 25% is based off last year, and then 5% is based off 2 years ago. So this will kind of force the AI to look more at their stats rather than their ratings. You can adjust that however you'd like. But there's not much that you need to change in order to get a fictional or a historical series to get to start. Most of that stuff will be there for you already. I know you love randomness. What do we have to do? Waiver wire, and then we'll play the game. Yeah, we're half hour into this, and we haven't even played a game yet, but that's fine. Batting potential. Anybody on the trade block that's interesting, or on the waiver wire that's interesting? Any Sieglers are always interesting, but we have so many catchers now that I don't know what to do with them all. I mean, yeah, Torvar, if you don't want to have to deal with the day-to-day lineups and stuff, but that's one of the things I love about the game is tweaking the lineups and moving players around and, calling people up if somebody's, playing well or, sending them down if they're struggling. I mean, that's one of the things I like about it. But yeah, if you just play as GM in just GM mode, the game is going to take care of all that other stuff for you. Giovanni Cruz. Extreme ground ball pitcher, slinker slider. I mean, that looks pretty good. Sam Henkes. I mean, we could take a shot at someone like Cruz. He's only 26, and part of the issue, I don't know what issue, but part of what we're going to be dealing with in the offseason is a lot of our bullpen arms are going to start to get expensive. So it might be in our best interest to grab somebody now, send Alamon down. That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah, we'll take a flyer on Giovanni Cruz from the Cubs. You'll be back in like an hour? Okay, I'll be back here. I'll be here, I mean. Graduated high school in 2019. In 2019, I was in school too in 2019, actually. I don't know how many of you guys know that, but I went a little bit about me. So I graduated from the University of New Hampshire in 1998. So let's look at preseason predictions and I'll continue my story. So it has us going 90 and 72. Crazy Canuck just raided us. Way to go. What's up, Crazy Canuck? Thank you for the raid. What is up, Raiders? Thanks for joining. My name is Aaron. If this is your first time here, I stream Out of the Park Baseball on behalf of GM Games. Welcome. Medert, thank you for the follow, my friend. When is the sale? I don't know, Jay Tanner. I don't know when the sale is. It usually comes out around the All-Star game. What is up, Crazy Canuck? How you doing, my friend? I was watching you for a little bit while I was getting ready for this, actually. I was watching, I think you were playing opening day. I stopped watching. You were down 7-3 or 7-3, and I had to get started. You stopped watching baseball in 94. The strike really did it to you, huh? Strike really did it to you. So yeah, so a little bit about me. So I graduated from the University of New Hampshire in 1998. And while I was there, I was the radio play-by-play guy for the UNH hockey team, the football team, and the just the hockey team and football team. I was going to say basketball, but I think I only did 1 or 2 basketball games. So hockey and football. And I graduated. And that's all I ever wanted to do was be a play-by-play guy. It's all I've ever wanted to do. And my life went a different direction. And I ended up working in retail for 25 years. And then in 2017, the end of 2017, my father passed away. So in 2018, I was 42 years old in 2018, and I made the decision to go back to school. So in April of 2018, I started to attend it's called the Illinois Media School. It's a broadcasting school here in the Chicagoland area. And I went back to school, and now I am a freelance sports broadcaster. In addition to my regular full-time job, which has nothing to do with sports or sports broadcasting. I am a freelance sports broadcaster. So it's never too late to chase your dreams is what I am saying. And I don't know where that came from, but yeah, I went back to school a couple years ago, and this is where I am. And where I am here is we are at opening day of year 4, I think. Yeah, year 4. We went 80 and 82 in our first season, 79 and 83 in our second season. Then we went 85 and 77 a year ago. Our owner wants us to stay respectable on the field. I think we have a much better chance of, I wouldn't say pro streamer, FJ. I would say streamer, freelance broadcaster and streamer. Yeah, I think we have a better than average chance of staying respectable. I think we have a shot at the division. I think our offense looks pretty good. I think we got a couple of good contact and on base guys at the top of our lineup. I got some power in the middle of the lineup, play some good defense. Our pitching staff, especially our bullpen, is really good. So we're going to let the game play here. Yeah. Are you calling me the GOAT? Is that what we're doing here? Alamon is not on the 40-man yet. All right. Well, we'll place him on the 40-man. All right. Game against Seattle. We will send Yandy Diaz. He'll bat leadoff, play first. Stephen Kwan will bat second, play center field. Waffle drops. Thank you for the follow. Randy Rosarena will bat third and play left. Lars Nootbaar is our DH. Batting cleanup. Nolan Gorman bats fifth, plays third. Benny Montgomery does make the opening day roster and will start on opening day in right field. Marcelo Meyer at second. Batting seventh. Adrian Sugastay is our catcher, batting eighth. Miggy Rojas will bat ninth. And we are shortstop. Dylan Cease will get the start 11 and 8, 306 for Dylan Cease last season. Jorbit Vivas will bat leadoff for the Mariners. Kalinic bats second, plays left. Julio Rodriguez is an 80 overall. He's a good baseball player. Bats third, plays center field. Ty France bats cleanup, plays first. Eduardo Escobar. Hey, Josh, I worked hard to get my title of freelance broadcaster. It took a long time. It took me a couple of years to really kind of get to a point where I got people reaching out to me now to pay me to come and broadcast their games. So I get what you're saying, but I worked hard to get to where I was. When is the game going to update Kalinic to be all 80s? When he starts hitting 480-foot home runs on the regular. Eduardo Escobar is the DH, batting fifth. Cole Young bats sixth at short. Luke Raley in right field batting seventh. Luis Guillorme will bat eighth and play second base. Reese McGuire does the catching. And George Kirby on the mound, 17 and 9 with a 3.42 ERA a year ago. So let's get into the game and let's let the game itself. Opening day. I've been to, is it still called Safeco? I've been there once. I went on an Alaskan cruise back in 2006, 2007. Yandy Diaz strikes out looking. And the day before we went on a cruise, I went to a Mariners game. No, man, you could. I don't care. You're just busting balls. A Rosarena strikes out, so we go down in order. You weren't rude. You are fine. It's T-Mobile now. Yeah, I went there once. It's a nice ballpark. I still have my my Mariners t-shirt giveaway. I have 2 of them, actually, that they gave us. Vivas grounds to third, 1 out. Here comes Kalinic in his all 80s. Grounds out to shortstop. And Julio Rodriguez draws a walk. Ty France strikes out. Lars Nootbaar, who we picked up last season at the deadline, and he was really, really good for us in half a season. 2.5 WAR, 152 OPS plus. He was really good in the second half of the season for us. Hoping for more of the same here. Draws a 4-pitch walk. Nolan Gorman, he draws a walk. So 2 on, nobody out in the second inning. Benny Montgomery, his big league debut, drops a bunt down. You'll like to see it. You'll like to see it from the rookie. The sack bunt, getting a couple runners in scoring position. Can Meyer drive them in? He cannot. We're going to leave 2 runners stranded in scoring position, aren't we? Sugastay out to right center field. Yep, we strand 2 runners in scoring position because Marcelo Meyer can't make contact. Eduardo Escobar now. Fly ball to right. One out. Yeah, FJ, you are a diehard Mariners fan. Cole Young steals second, so they have a runner at second with one out. Fly ball to center, gets down. All right, look at that bounce. We're down 1-0 in the second. Fly ball to right. Catch is made there. And Reese McGuire strikes out. So we get up a run in the second. Rojas will lead off. He walks. Andy Diaz strikes out. Kwan grounds to third. Not a double play. Till death do us part. That's the way it's got to be, man. That's how I feel about the Red Sox. Good, bad, indifferent. I am a Red Sox fan until the day I die. Ground ball to third, and that will retire the side. Vivas will lead off. Grounds out to short. Kalinic strikes out. And Rodriguez. Line drive to right and a diving catch out in right field by Benny Montgomery, who gets hurt, but he looks okay. You know, to be fair, FJ, I wasn't always indifferent. I mean, we've talked about this. I think we talked about this either last week or we talked about this on Discord. I used to be a rage-filled Red Sox fan. Nolan Gorman grounds out. I remember breaking a remote control in 1999 when the Red Sox lost to the Indians. So Benny Montgomery flies out to center. We go in order again. So yeah, I wasn't always that way, but it was, you know, once your teams start winning, it becomes easier to accept the losing. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I mean, I don't want to say, you know, you just need to win. You need to win 12 titles in 18 years or whatever it was that the Reds or that Boston sports teams have done. But an E2. Oh no, man, I used to get angry. I used to get really, really angry. Now it's what is going on here? The ball just bounced. Ground rule double. Okay. Yeah, not anymore though. With a fly ball to center, and it gets down. Gosh, shoot. 2-run single. We're down 3-0. McGuire strikes out. So the error costs us. We're now down 3. We still don't even have a hit. We don't even have a hit yet. George Cy Young Kirby. And there's our first hit. Why couldn't Meyer do that his first time up? We had runners on second and third. That would have scored 2 runs. Stay strikes. It doesn't matter. It's going to be strike. Oh, no. Miggy Rojas with a fly ball to right center field off the wall. Yeah, I used to get angry. I used to get really, really angry, but not anymore. Not anymore. I just, you know, I get disappointed, you know, but it's I'm over it really, really quickly. We either choke, we suck, we get relocated, or I've heard that the Kraken fans have really bought in. I've heard it's pretty crazy up there now in terms of the Kraken. Diaz ground ball to third, can't get the runner over. And Kwan looking for that 2-out RBI. He strikes out. All right, pick up a run. Vivas, yeah, the Seahawks moving to Oklahoma, or the Sonics moving to Oklahoma City was always so weird to me. It felt like a downward move, right? Like Seattle is a bigger market than Oklahoma City, right? Like it just felt like a weird move to me. Yeah, it's a shame. Yummy ZZ, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday night. Rosarena strikes out. Bar grounds out to third, 2 away. And Gorman. A home run? It might be a home run. No, it's going to be caught. No one really cares about soccer. I like World Cup soccer. It's about the extent of it for me. I get really into the World Cup. Can't care about. Yeah, it's so weird. I don't understand why they went to, I mean, I'm sure something happened, but I don't understand why So Raylan Perez comes in with 1 out in the 5th. Very vague memories of KD's rookie year. He was rail thin, man. He weighed next to nothing when he first got to the NBA. Benny Montgomery with his first big league hit. There you go. A leadoff single in the 7th. Marcelo Meyer now pops up to center. The Jays are rarely bad. They're usually frustrating, not quite good enough. Yeah, it's a good point. I don't think the Jays have ever been, I don't want to say ever, but I don't recall them being terrible, anytime in the last 10 or 15 years. George Kirby is dominating us here on opening day. Not digging this. Frazier Ellard against Guillorme. Walks the lefty. Gets the bunt down. And we get the lead runner. They have 4 lefties in a row. 6 lefties in a row. Young, Rayleigh, Guillorme, McGuire, Vivas, Kelenic. Get out of the inning. The Mariners are either good or they're a 90-loss team. That's the way things have been with the Red Sox, right? They either win the World Series or finish in last place. That's how it's gone over the last, decade. All right, so we're in the 8th. We've got the top of the order coming up against Fairbanks, who is still really, really good in this. So let's see how the top of our order does. We have 3 hits in 7 innings. Make it 4 hits, as there's a leadoff single by Yandy Diaz. Kwan now. Stephen Kwan never strikes out. He has an 80 avoid K, and he struck out twice already in this one. Come on. There's another strikeout. Oh, good. We're going to pinch hit Jake. Okay. Ramall the second. Commercial, so those of you watching on YouTube can come along and play, but those of you on Twitch who aren't subscribed, so FJ, I think it's just you and me right now, man. while we wait for the ads to end. Arrighetti comes in here in the 8th against Julio Rodriguez, and Rodriguez rips a base hit to left. Longest active playoff drought in the league. I don't know. We can look. France strikes out. Escobar with a base hit to left. So they got 2 on with 1 out in the 8th. Cole Young gets a base hit to left. Bases are loaded with 1 out. Whoever Boyd is strikes out, and now Guillorme. All right, so it looks like we get out of the inning, but we need to score 2 in the 9th. Wait a second. Who has the longest MLB playoff drought? Tigers. Detroit Tigers. Last time Tigers and the Angels, actually, which is just ridiculous. They're both at 8 years. The Royals haven't made it since they made it to the World Series. No ads on your Apple TV. Cool. Yeah, the Tigers and the Angels are both at 8. The Royals and the Pirates are both at 7. Orioles and the Rangers are both at 6. And then the D-backs are at 5. So Detroit Tigers and the Angels, who have 2 of the 5 best baseball players in the world on their roster, haven't made the playoffs in 8 years. Nolan Gorman against Andre Munoz here leading off the inning. We're going to lose 3-1 on opening day. That's okay, though. It's just opening day. Montgomery strikes out, and Marcelo Meyer draws a 2-out walk, gets us to Sugastey. Flies out to left. Yep, we lose 3-1. Experience Angels baseball. Yeah, you got it. All right, so we lose 3-1 on opening day. Not much to look at offensively. Guillorme had their big hit, a 2-run single. Wasted a good effort by Dylan Cease. Gave up 1 earned run in 5. Perez, or the bullpen, did what they should have done, and we lose 3-1 on opening day. San Francisco claimed Hazley. That's fine. You can have him. So they got Luis Castillo going in game 2. We got Matt Brash. pitching against his former club. 1-1. Marcelo Meyer out for 2 to 3 weeks. Not good. Yeah, not a lot of offense here. Diaz with an RBI, Sugastay with an RBI. Brash goes 4 2/3, walks 5. Yeah, Tungsten Arm Doyle is a famous Angels quote. I saw something, it was last week, that Ohtani did something that hadn't been done in like 50 years or something like that, and the Angels lost. Shreddy, so do I. I mean, as a baseball fan, I want to see Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani in the postseason, 100%. And if the Red Sox can't win it, I would love to see the Angels win the World Series, 100%. But watching them these last 2 days in Boston, it ain't going to be this year. I can tell you that much. All right, so Meyer has to go on the injured list. We'll call up Jung, and then who plays second? I think we go Rafaela against righties, and then we'll put Jaloff out there. Range is good enough to play second. I mean, he's really a third baseman, but well, what about Gorman? Yeah, we'll leave it the way it is. You think so, FJ? I've seen. Well, I shouldn't say it, because what I've seen in Out of the Park 24 is that it's a crapshoot as to whether or not they actually re-sign Ohtani. And if they don't re-sign Ohtani, they end up being really bad. If they do sign Ohtani, they tend to play pretty well. So we're getting what we thought we were going to get, which is good pitching through 3 games. 2-0 win here. Arozarena has 2 hits. Rafaela with 2 hits. Tanner Houck goes 5. Robinson gets his second save. Nick Pivetta on the mound here for Chicago for Seattle in the 4th game. He beats us. We scored like 6 runs in 4 games, and we ended up 2-2. So this is Arizona, by the way. The Arizona Diamondbacks moved to Columbus, so they are the Columbus Tourists now. You guys let me know how you feel about that. I would gladly move them back, but CW Pretty, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday evening. We get Moran back in a day. Let's see how Vera does. I'm really interested to see how Norge Vera does with these ratings. He's going to walk a ton of batters, but I mean, he has 5+ pitches and 3 of them are elite. So, I mean, he could blow up. He could strike out 250 batters. I have no idea. Yep, FJ, they're a mess. Like even yesterday's game against the Red Sox, their catcher committed 2 catcher interference penalties, for lack of a better term, in the same inning. How many tourists could they pause? That's a good question. So we lose 3-2, so we are 2-3 now. Vera goes 4 1/3, striking out 7. Moran's eligible to come off the DL. We will put him on a rehab assignment for now. Yeah, our offense out of the chute, not good. Did I do staff roles? I did. Staff roles are set. We have a new hitting coach, well, new to last year. I mean, it's only 5 games in. I'm not going to worry too much about it yet, but it wasn't Max Stassi. It was the hell's his name? It was I can't remember his name. Hang on. It was Matt Tice. Matt Tice. They should trade for Austin Hedges. Yes, they should. They should pick up Ali Sanchez off waivers. So we have 1 home run in 5 games. We've scored 9 runs in 5 games. We've allowed 10 runs in 5 games, and we have a losing record. All right. Come on. There we go. We pick up a 3-1 victory. Is that our season high in runs for the season? 3? Nolan Gorman hits a home run. Rafaela hits a home run. Look at that. We had 7 hits. Dylan C strikes out 11. Trade for Hedges and draft Arj. Right. If I ran the Red Sox this, next season, that would be, RJ is going to be there. He's going to be that pick. Like I would draft players based on out of the park baseball. Again, our pitching staff does well. We get a couple of home runs, but still only 3 hits or 3 runs rather. We win again, 5 runs, an outburst, if you will, by the White Sox. Look at Steven Kwan and his 0.87 batting average out of the chute here. Let's go. 0.87, Nootbaar at 111, Gorman at 174, Benny at $1.43. Jaloff is 0 for 7. Thankfully, our 8-9 hitters are both hitting 300. Lars and Sugaste each homer. Brash goes 4 2/3, not enough to get the win, but a .96 ERA through 2 starts. Got the Cardinals coming to town. We're a half game out of first place. Yeah, the Tigers are the team to beat in the Central right now. They ran away and hid with the Central a year ago. They somehow turned Yohan Moncada into a 500 hitter. Riley Green was your American League MVP a year ago. Aaron Nola was your American League Cy Young Award winner a year ago. So they are the team to beat. Boston media, in a surprising move, Red Sox GM drafts an unknown outfielder in the first round and 3 22-year-old knuckleballers. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And he forgot to add that new GM apparently doesn't care if batter knows how to hold bat, only if he knows how to field. Do I follow any other teams? Yeah. I mean, I love baseball. So, I know players and I know teams. I mean, I don't root for anybody other than the Red Sox, but yeah, I follow baseball. 4-4. We are not scoring any runs. 17 runs in 8 games. And we lose another game. What's going on here? What happened? What happened? Do we have somebody? Oh, we picked up Giovanni Cruz. I didn't even notice that. All right, so Alaman will go down. Cruz will come up. Yeah, our offense, this is really not good. We're 9 games into the season. We're scoring 2 runs a game. The Mets. Steven Kwan, a casual 2 for 26 in his debut as a member of the White Sox. Bluebird Silver, thank you for the follow. Vera on the mound as we look to avoid the sweep tomorrow. Been partial to Cleveland ever since Kwan made his debut. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I am. I'll put Elder on a rehab assignment as well. I'm not really a fan of any other team. We talked about the Angels, right? I'd like to see Ohtani and Trout make the playoffs, but I don't root for anybody other than the Red Sox. I guess I root for the underdog. If the Pirates were, an 85-win team and they made the postseason, I would root for them. So I would root for the underdogs, but that's how I always am. All right, Vera on the mound. Can we beat St. Louis? We can. We win. Okay. We win 1-0. Vera goes 5. Oh, it was only a 6-inning game. Vera goes 5, striking out 6. Nootbaar drives in a run with that lofty 154 batting average. Somehow, well, not somehow, we know exactly how we're doing it. We're doing it with pitching. We have a .92 bullpen ERA through 10 games. We are losing games by an average score of 1.9 to 1.8. Big D-backs rooting this season. They got a lot of young talent with Carroll and Alec Thomas in their outfield. Yeah, FJ, right. You root for the underdog faces your team, and then I hope my team crushes the soul of the underdog. 100%. Look at these batting averages. At Kansas City. Come on.
4-2.
So we scored a lofty 4 runs in this game. Raphael had a couple RBIs. Cease goes 7. This is ridiculous. 6-5 on the year. 6-6. We scored 3 runs but lost. 6-7. We have not scored more than 5 runs in a game this season. Marcelo Meyer his recovery is unclear. I mean, it's deck chairs on the Titanic, right? Like there's no reason to move anybody around because literally nobody is hitting. And you have to think at some point some of these players are going to start to hit, but you also have to start thinking about at what point do we think about making a change. I know he's only been with us for less than a year, but we're literally hitting 185 through 13 games. See, this is he's legendary at teaching hitting. He's decent at handling development, and he really gets along with everyone. Just have to hope that we plug through it. Becoming the in real life Red Sox. You're sure they'll hit? I hope you're right. We lose 9-4. 6-8. 7-8. Hey, look at that. 12-0. Gorman 4 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Benny Montgomery has 4 runs knocked in. Yandy Diaz. Stephen Kwan has a couple hits, couple RBIs. Vera's been good. He's not pitching deep into games, but 19 strikeouts in 14 innings. All right, let's see if we can win 2 out of 3 against Baltimore. We can. We scored 19 runs in our last 2 games. Let's go. And it's all Nolan Gorman. Back-to-back 4 RBI games. Or I guess back-to-back 7 RBIs in the last 2 games, 7 hits. I could do anything I want. I can overreact. It's a baseball game. I shouldn't make any team-changing decisions based on 15 games, but I could. There's a guy on the Blue Jays. They offered me in a trade in my red save, Josh something Eastern European. Josh is from Eastern Canada. Maybe it's that Josh. Maybe it's Josh Beer that they're trying to trade you. Cease 2-1 with an ERA of 1.4. We got the Mets coming to town. We lose 3-1. 5-4 intense. The offense picking it up a little bit. I mean, we're up to 57 runs now in 18 games, so it's a little bit better. Freelance shortstop Josh Beer. I've always said that I would play for the Red Sox for like $15,000. Like I'd go up there and hit the ball as well as some of these backup catchers or whatever. Oh, maybe I couldn't, but for a tenth of what they're paying them, I'd be willing to try. Eric Getty gets the win. Yandy Diaz hits his first. We're a 500 team here in the early going. Offense can just pick it up a little bit. Pitching staff has been, look at our the pitching staff is ridiculous. 45 runs allowed in 19 games. Our defense has been good enough. We take 2 out of 3 against the Mets. Rosarena has that average over 200. Diaz is up to 270. Quan up to $197. The averages are starting to climb. Jaloff and Rosarena each hit their first home runs of the year. Dollard goes 5. Gives up 2 runs. Off today, and then we got the Red Sox who have Severino, Burns, and Whitlock going against us. 65 hitting a trip. Oh, that's pretty good. Leadoff hitter. That's a leadoff hitter profile right there. 65 hitting attributes across the board, with the exception of power. That's a leadoff hitter. Maybe a number 2 hitter even. All right, we're 10-9. We got the Sox coming to town for 3, or we're going to Boston for 3, rather. Game 1. We lose 1-0. Cease. We went 5, 4, and 10. Lars, 3 for 5 with an RBI. His average is up over 200. Rafaela, 2 for 4, 3 RBIs. Diaz, 3 hits. Look at Matt Brash with his .47 ERA on the season. 1 earned run in 19. He's going to get lit up because I just highlighted it here. So let's see how this third game goes against the Red Sox. No, we won. We went 4-1. Benny Montgomery is now out for 3 weeks. Brandon, thank you for that subscription, man. I appreciate that. I know Chris and the guys at GM Games appreciate it. 3 months in a row. You did tell me he was good, and I've picked him up in every league that I've played, and he's been really good in all of them. So I thank you for that. Brash gives up a run in 4 and 2. Our bullpen is so good, man. We got to figure out what to do now. We got to send Benny Montgomery down to the minor, or not to the minors, but on the injured list. So that means we're short a right fielder. I mean, we can just slide Parker Meadows in into the lineup and be fine. That's not going to help us offensively. Lloyd El Chapelli, or do we call up Kashiwabara with the hope that he can run into some stuff against lefties? We are going to have decisions to make from a pitching perspective because Elder's got to be back in 16 days and Moran is a week and a half, but that's neither here nor there right now. We don't really have any, but why is Arias there? Arias should not be in AAA. We don't really have a high-end bat in the minor league, so I think we just go Kashiwabara. Brash making Jose Ramirez fall on his ass. I did not see that. So against lefties, Kashiwabara will come in and play right because he does have some pop. And against lefties, it'll be Parker Meadows. We'll put him in right as well. We'll move the lineup around a bit, and we'll do something like that. Garrett Cole now, as we are in New York to take a look at the Tigers, man. They're just already starting to pull away a little bit from us. Game 1 in New York, 6-5 win. Look at that. 3 in the 8th. We got down 5-0 after 2. Houck does not make it out of 3, but our bullpen does what our bullpen does. Gorman hits his 5th home run of the year. Average is light, but I was expecting a 250 batting average. I mean, if we get 250 out of Nolan Gorman and he hits 35 home runs, that is a super successful season. Newt Barr, on the other hand, they ain't having it, especially when you look at his potential ARB number next year. So, long way to go, though. Long way to go. We got Rodon going against Dollard. I anticipate a loss here. Yep, we lose 10-8. Jorge Vera against Dre Jameson. So we lose 2 out of 3 in New York. Meyer is eligible to come off the DL. Jung will go back down to the AAA. Meyer will come up. Marcelo will go right back into the lineup at second base. Thing is, Rafael has been like one of the few hitters on our team who's actually hitting. Yeah, he's literally second on the team in OPS. Rafael. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to do. Rafaela. Get him some starts there. Get him some starts there. No. All right. We lost 2 in a row. We're 4 games out of first place. 12th in runs scored. So we've actually moved up. We're not even last in runs scored anymore. But we also don't have the best starters ERA anymore. Houck and Dollard have been quite bad. Defensively, we've been good. All right, Corbin Burns now at home against the Red Sox. We look to avoid falling to 500. Do just that. We fall to 13-13 in the month of April. Who is Gabriel Rodriguez? That looks like fun. That looks like a lot of fun. Anyway, nothing of substance. Vlad Jr. is your hitter of the month in the AL. Jackson Chorio in the NL. Joel Concepcion is your pitcher of the month in the American League. Edwin Diaz in the NL. Concepcion is your rookie of the month. And Oliver Roque is your pitcher of the month or your rookie of the month in the NL. So we're 13-13. We have one of the worst offenses in the American League and one of the best pitching staffs in the American League. So we're just going to keep right on trucking here. Do we want to... Are we making any changes to our lineup? Are we making any changes? I don't think so. I don't like this lefty thing right in the middle, so we'll do that, but that's a nothing move. I don't think so. I think we just keep plugging away and hope that some of our players start to hit. Look to avoid falling under 500, and we do with a 5-3 win. Matt Brash still with a sub-1 ERA on May 2nd. 4 and 2/3 innings of 1 run ball, striking out 8. Nootbaar and Gorman each have a couple of hits. Diaz has a couple of hits. Rojas. Cool. More Red Sox. 6-0 loss. Yeah, our 3-4 pitchers, Houck and Dollard, have not done well. That's what we got going today as our 4th starter. We lose again. So they want to send us, Dodgers want to send us Eddie's Leonard. Getting Frazier out. No. 14-15. You had so have I, FJ, so have I. Way more success with my pitching than I have with my hitting. This is just atrocious. All right. Well, we got Kansas City, 11-18 Kansas City coming to town for 3. Hopefully we can make some hay here. We win game 1 5-2. That's a Norge Vera start, I believe. He goes 4 1/3. Bullpen does their job. Hunt hits his first home run of the year. Meyer with 3 hits. Rafaela, Gorman, Nootbaar each with 2. Wins a win. Game 2, we got Cease on the mound, and we lose. We lose 2-1 with Dylan Cease on the mound. We contemplated messing with... I didn't want to do that because, oh, look, Gorman's hurt. I didn't want to do that because if it adjusts my ratings, it's going to adjust everybody's, and I just didn't want to deal with that. What did this thing say is going on? Is it rehab assignments? Is that what we're dealing with? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I didn't want to, like I said, I didn't want to change the modifiers because that changes it for every team. And I mean, if it's fair now, it's fair now. So I wish there was a way from this screen right here where I could just take him off his rehab assignment and leave him in AAA. But what I have to do is I have to send somebody down, then I have to call him up, and then I have to send him back down. It just is dumb. And he has to, okay, cool. Awesome. So Perez will come back up. We had him set up and high leverage. All right, so Cease loses, even though he gives up almost nothing. 15-16. Can we take 2 out of 3 against Kansas City? We cannot. Tanner Houck going here. This 5.53 ERA. He drops to 1-3. Cruz gets hurt. So Elder, I think, can come up now. I think ultimately what happens is Elder goes into the rotation for either Houck or Dollard, but that can't happen today. 3 games under 500. This is not encouraging, and fans aren't coming out because we're losing. Fan interest is starting to dwindle. It was a 92 when the season started, so we need to start winning here. Reno's eligible to come off the DL. He'll go on a rehab assignment. So we went 10-2. That's good. We got Woodruff coming up now, though. I mean, at least the averages are all mostly over 200 at this point. They're all in the low 200s, but that's better than the 100s they were at before. Dollard pitches well, trying to keep himself out of the bullpen. We're in the wild card spot with a 16-18 record. So it's the haves and the have-nots in the American League this year. That is for sure. Game 3 against Brandon Woodruff. I fully anticipated that to be a loss. Now we're in Minnesota. They're 12-23. So what? We lose 3 out of 4? 3 out of 4? I think we lose in Minnesota. We win the first game 6-2. That was a Dylan Cease start. Lars Nootbaar with a grand slam in the 7th. Diaz a couple of hits. Gorman a couple of hits. Cease goes 6, gets the win. They're sending Skubal now against Brash. Brash still looking for his first victory of the year. He's literally pitching less than I think we need to. Let's see if we can get him a little deeper into games. He's pitched so well. 3-1 this time in 10. Quan 2 for 5. He still only goes 5 innings, but that's fine. Bullpen does their job, so we've taken the first 2. Occams, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Hope you're having a terrific Sunday evening. Look to get back to 500 here against Nabil Krismat, and we do. We win 7-2. Diaz 3 for 3. Gorman 2 for 5. Rafaela 2 hits, including his 3rd home run. Houck has a good start finally. So we got another pitcher on rehab. Or somebody in DFA. Yeah, Moran. Okay. So Cantorino's back in 20-something days. 27, yeah. All right, so we've won 3 out of 4, or three straight, excuse me, against Minnesota to get us back to 500. Yeah, we're a 500 team, and we've outscored our opponents by 21 runs this year. I'm curious stands. 21, 1, 2, 3. We're tied for 4th best run differential in the American League, and we're a 500 team. According to our Pythag, we should be 22-16. 5-9 in 1-run games. But that's not a function of our pitching staff. It's not our pitching staff blowing saves. It's our offense's inability to get hits, frankly. I would rather have him starting. So I think I need to. Where is the? Let's bench him for 5 days because I would like him to start. Tyler Mahle here in game 4. We've got Dollard going, and we win again. So we win all 4 games in Minnesota. Did not expect that. Everybody in our lineup had at least 1 hit. 2 for Diaz, Gorman, Arozarena, and Rojas. Marcelo Meyer with his first home run of the year. Batting cleanup because that's what he does. Dollard goes 6. All right, it looks like we've come back around, and we're now taking on Seattle. D2022 Test 5. Thank you for the follow. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. We're up to 10th in runs scored. But our other peripherals look really bad. We have 23 home runs in 39 games. That's really, really bad. I don't know how else to describe that. That's really, really bad. All right. Seattle at home. We lose 6-3. We lose Rafaela for a week. Fall back down to 500. Nick Pivetta going against us tomorrow. Look at Nick Pivetta with the 3-0, 3.11 ERA. Nick Pivetta. We're only 3.5 behind the Tigers, so it looks like they've struggled a bit here as well. We win 11-5. We put a beat down on Nick this game. Quan 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs. That's his best game of the year for us. Diaz 3 hits, Rosarena 3 hits, Rojas with 3 hits. Cisco 6 1/3. He picks up his 4th win. Now Casey Kelly. Kelly's a long time ago, wasn't he? He was a Red Sox farmhand, wasn't he? Yeah. Oh, look at this deal. Look at this deal here, guys. Oh, man. Casey Kelly, Anthony Rizzo for Adrian Gonzalez. Man, I would have loved to have seen Riz play as a Red Sox for 15 years or whatever. Just let him stay a member of the Red Sox, and the whole Adrian Gonzalez thing just never happens. Game 3 against Kelly. And we win 6-0. Matt Brash, a sub-1 ERA on May 18th. FJ, your boy is getting it done. Newt Bar 3 for 3. Man Cave Hawkeye, yeah, you'd rather have seen Rizzo stay a Cub. I bet. The two teams regret trading Anthony Rizzo, right? Like, I'm sure the Padres regretted trading him because, I mean, they didn't get much for him, right? What did they get for Anthony Rizzo? Andrew Kashner? Oof. That's even worse than getting Adrian Gonzalez. At least Gonzalez put up one good year for the Red Sox. That's a terrible trade for the Padres. So, yeah, Riz, couple of bad deals. A couple of really bad deals involving Anthony Rizzo. 22-20. 22-20. Not great. Not great, but the offense seems to be hitting a little bit better here in May than they were in April. We got Cleveland for 3, followed by Minnesota. So we got some home games against some teams in our division that aren't playing well. So hopefully we can make up some ground on Detroit here. Nope, we lose 4-3. We didn't lose any ground because Detroit lost 2. Dollard is pitching. We lose 3-0. Let's, of course. So I think we're going to do that for the time being. Give Dollard a chance in the bullpen. See how he does there. Why is our scouting accuracy so low? Is that... Oh, okay. So we've lost the first 2 games against the Guardians because, of course. And do we get swept by Cleveland? That's the question. At home, of all things. We don't. Okay, we win the final game of the series 3-2. Meyer with a home run. Kashiwabara with a home run. Cisco 6 1/3. Benny Montgomery is ready to come off the DL, but do we just send him to AAA? He's 15 for 63. How is he doing defensively? Average, basically. Kashiwabara, I think we just stick with Kashiwabara for now. All right, back to Minnesota. All right, there's a 4-3 win. Bryce Elder, we put him in the starting rotation. He goes 6 2/3 innings, gives up 2 earned runs. Gorman and Rojas homer. Two games over 500, 3 games out of first place. Currently sitting in that last wild card spot. Tariq Skubal going against us today. We lose 3-1 because our offense is awful. And final game of the series. Can we take 2 out of 3 against the Twins? We can. 9-8 in 10 innings. Another Matt Brash start? No, it was a Vera start. Look at this. 4 innings of hitless baseball for Vera. He walked 6, struck out 3. Yeah, I knew this was going to be weird, just given his control, but it's working out of the 5-hole, I guess. Raphael and Hunt each with home runs in this one. Meadows with a 3-run double, bases clearing double in the 10th. at Cleveland, followed by at Detroit. So 7 games on the road now. This is either going to be really good or really bad. Game 1 in Cleveland against old friend Max Fried. We traded Quan for Fried. Fried hasn't been great for him. He's pitched better as of late, but he hasn't been particularly good for them. We win 1-0. Tanner Houck outduels Max Fried. We get an RBI from Meadows in the 7th, or in the 5th, rather. Our bullpen does a nice job. We win the first game. When was my last report on Very? It was at spring training. February of 2026. So we didn't get one in May or April, I guess, but yeah. I had one in May. Did I? I don't think I did. We're almost to June, and we'll get one there, I think. All right, Cease against Musgrove. Of course, we lose that one. Look at the top. I am looking at the top. It says February 2 of 26. There is no like scouting report here. Like there's no date here that I can see. The giant thing. Oh, right in front of me. Yeah, 226. I mean, nothing changed, if that's what you're asking. Like, nothing changed between February and May. I mean, if his scouting report is everything is the same as the last time I told you, then yeah, I guess he had a scouting report. Back-to-back losses in Cleveland. We're still only 2.5 out going into Detroit, so we could, in theory, come out of Detroit in first place. Why? We've also played 5 fewer games than them. This is ridiculous. So we could come out of here in first place. We could come out of here 7.5 games out. We'll see how it goes, though. Or 6.5 games out. We win the first game 4-1 in 10 innings. 2 hits, 2 runs scored for Quan. 2 hits, 3 RBIs for Arozarena. 3 hits for Meyer. 2 hits and an R. A lot of hits. 14 hits. Arozarena with his 2nd home run of the year. Brash goes 5. Game 2. 28, we win. No changes, still information. The difference between looked at May. Okay, fair enough. So we win again. We're a half game out of first place. Norge Vera, guy we were just talking about, 5 shutout innings. Bullpen, all right here, but the back half does fine. Sugesti hits a 2nd home run of the season. Diaz, 2 hits and an RBI. We win today. We're in first place. I'd imagine Vera's control would start to improve, but since it hasn't, I wouldn't have counted on. I'm moving forward with the idea that he's going to be a 75, 80, 35 guy, and if we can get 5 quality innings out of him. I mean, he's throwing anywhere from 80 to 100 pitches because he throws so many balls, which is going to hamper how many innings he can go. But we'll see if we can get 4 to 5 out of him every game. We win today. We're in first place. We got Houck on the mound. We don't win because, of course, not. Can't be in first place. Cease going here against Jackson Jobe. Let's see if we can be half a game out or if nothing was established in those 4 games. Are we going to win the first 2, lose the second 2? Or are we going to end up half a game out of first place? Oh, half a game out of first place on June 1st. Like when you see a guy get a big bump, depending on scouting, the scout may take some time to fully comprehend the scope of the change. Oh, interesting. I've had profiles like that work in the pen with a quick hook. What do you mean, Josh? I would think if he has a quick hook, he wouldn't go as far into the game. right? Or am I misunderstanding what you're saying? So Houck's stamina drops to 40. That's not good. We have a lot of pitchers who are going 5 innings. Look at Matt Brash. This is ridiculous. A 4.46 ERA plus through 11 starts. Set of Stubbs is somebody we may want to consider. He's got 60 stamina. Alamon, I think, was 50 when he's 40 as well. Okay. Sarana continues to get better. Not pitching great in Double-A, but we're not going to rush him. Only 21. We're not going to rush him. He's angry because he doesn't have any expectation. You have one guy in Baseball League Major, you locked him up for 10 years at what? 10 years at $840K a year? I'll have to look at that. That's crazy. So Sarana's probably up next season, but I'm not pushing it. He's going to continue to pitch in the minors this season. No reason to rush him. We win 7-0, so we're half a game out on June 1st. Quanez, 3 RBIs. Sugastay. Diaz, Meadows, Sugastay, all homer. Cisco, 7 shutout. He's 5-3. We got Oakland. Where's Oakland this year? 21-32. All right. Of course, we lose the first game to them. Fall a game out of first place. 9-4. Here in the second game, Diaz 3 hits, Meadows 3 RBIs, Quan 2 RBIs. He's only hitting .218. I don't know. He's been a 300 hitter consistently. It's 65/70 contact, comes to Chicago, and he's hitting .218. I don't know. Brash is 2-0. Now that we're letting him pitch a little bit longer, he only gave up 1 earned run, but picks up his second win of the year. He's 2018-7 now, but his potential is 2018-18. He's okay, but for 804. Yeah, 100% random task. Random task got Purina pet food. I got a milk commercial. We're going to keep going here. Half a game out of first place. I got to keep going because I got YouTube watchers. We lose 5-0. Still half a game out of first place. We got Detroit at home starting on the 5th. Ty Madden against Tanner Houck as we look to move into first place if we win today. We lose, so we're a game and a half out. So it's Job against Cease again. Back to half a game out. 2-0 victory. Diaz's 3 hits. Rosarena and Meadows driving runs. Dylan Cease has been terrific this year. Aaron Nola against Bryce Elder here in the final game. Again, another win, and we're in first place. If we lose, we are a game and a half out. Random task, did you learn a lot about Purina pet food? For me, it was almond milk. That's what I got. I got an almond milk commercial. See if we can move into first place. We do. We beat Aaron Nola, and we had moved into first place 32-29. Lars Nootbaar, 2 hits and an RBI. Rafaela, 2 hits and an RBI. Elder goes 5 1/3. Some players promoted. Anybody that we want to make sure we are keeping an eye on? Not particularly. Cubs and Sox made a trade. Nico Cavadas. Now, Nico is somebody that I'm a big fan of. He's just a short, stocky left-hander who hits bombs. All right, we're in first place. We are in first place, guys. 32-29. Half a game up on the Tigers. We still have one of the worst offenses in the American League. 13th in the American League. Our pitching staff is absolutely ridiculous, though. 190 runs allowed in 60 games. And we're a great defensive team as well. So whatever we're doing is working. Cannot complete what? Has an illegal number of foreign players on the. Do I not have enough? Do I have too many people? Is that the problem? I don't understand what it's telling me. Oh, read. Cantorino's rehab assignment is over. He was really good, but I don't. How is Dollar done? It looks like he struggled. Hasn't pitched particularly well as a reliever either. Do we send Dollar down for now? I think we do. Oh, whoa. Can you make expansion teams? Yes, you can. No, you can add teams if you want. You can yeah, Lewis, you can you can you have to do it at the end of the. I think you have to do it you have to do it in the off season effectively. I think you have to do it before the off season starts, but after the playoffs end. Do I have that right? Like after the playoffs are over, but before the before free agency. I can't remember exactly when you do it, but yes, you can. I think we're going to send Dollard down for now. Let him get some work in AAA because he hasn't pitched particularly well. We'll call Cantorino up. Let him get some time as a long reliever. And just kind of go from there. Move him back to normal usage. I don't like that ERA. It's a bit high. Jaron, how you doing, man? Yeah, Baseball Mogul. I created one of the first Let's Plays I did on my channel was an expansion series with Out of the Park 21, maybe. I like making expansion teams. It's fun to build. That may be something I do on my channel when I'm done with the Cubs playthrough. That's always fun to do, is build an expansion team. So, because once you get tired, like I might do it in that same world because you can only go through the first couple of drafts so many times before you start getting tired of those players. What are we doing? Oh, we're simming against Toronto. They're 33-28. They're set to be in the playoffs as well. Going against a 1-6, 6-6-1 pitcher, and we win 7-6. Diaz 3 hits. Rosarena, Geloff, Sugastay all have 2 hits. Kwan drives in a pair. Ooh, Matt Brash sees his ERA almost double in this one game. He gives up 5 runs in 2 innings. Vera going now. Another win. We're 3 games up on the Tigers, guys. 3 games up on Detroit. The Halifax Moose are my usual expansion team. Nice. Nice. A lot of offense in this one. Look at our offense. Look at all those hits from the top 5 in our order. Diaz, Kwan, Gorman, Meyer. We still don't have anybody in double digits in home runs this year. Our offense has been... We have 42 home runs in 63 games. Tanner Houck going today against Yandre Rojas. Another win. 1-0. Yep, you can create uniforms. You can upload logos. So if there's a post on the Out of the Park forums that has a zip file that has like thousands of logos, and you can download that zip file, and chances are there is a team name in there that's going to be whatever it is you're going to call your team, and you can upload logos, or you can create your own, or yeah, you can do pretty much anything you want in this game. Out goes 4 2/3. Yeah, our starting pitching does not go deep into games, so it's a good thing our bullpen is as good as it is. Logan Webb has been fantastic. Wow. He was somebody we looked at in the preseason, but those or in the offseason last year, but his ratings, man, that's a good contract too. Spencer Strider is just a beast. All right, we got 3 games against Atlanta at home. Let's see how this goes. Game 1 is a 10-0 loss. Oof. Game 2, another loss. And game 3. Are we going to get swept by Atlanta here? No, we win the final game 3-1. Meadows hits his 4th home run. Brash pitches 5, strikes out 10. Yeah, I increasing his hook, give him a slower hook, I think worked. He's pitching a little bit longer into games. We're off today, and then we got San Diego. We might still get through everything today, guys. That wasn't necessarily my intent because I didn't want to rush. I always feel like I'm rushing July because I want to have everything done by 9 o'clock, but I'm just not going to do that here tonight. We're just going to play until 9. We're just going to go as far as we can, and then my next episode will just pick up where we left off. So, Rony Garcia versus Norge Vera. We're 3 games up on the Tigers. Still 3 games up on the Tigers. Giovanni Cruz is ready to come back. Do we have a pitcher that can go down? Not really. Not really. So we will just send Cruz on a rehab assignment. Geloff is hurt. I don't know when he's going to come back. Game 2, Dylan Lesko against Tanner Houck. We win 3-1. Again, we're just doing it completely with our pitching and our defense. Our offense is still really bad. It's all about the pitching and defense for the White Sox. Game 3 against the Padres. We take 2 out of 3 from San Diego, and our lead's up to 4. Doing an expansion franchise is a lot of fun. You usually do alternate histories where you restart MLB from 1901 and do fictional teams with real players. Right, you do like the random like entry years, right? So like Willie Mays could play like in the early 1900s, or Babe Ruth could play today, right? Is that how you do it? So we went 6-2. Gorman homers, Rafaela homers. Juan has that average all the way up to 2. Oh, you don't do random entry? I thought you did. Cease is 7-4. Now we've got the Angels, who I think are the worst team in the American League. Second to worst team in the American League are the Angels. Just make fake teams because you like to make the uniforms. Gotcha. All right. 4-game lead on Detroit. We got the Angels coming to town for 3. And we win the first game 10-3. We lose Geloff for 3 weeks, so we'll have to make a decision here in a minute. Arozarena, 3 for 5 with 6 runs knocked in. Gorman has 2 hits. Rojas, Rafaela each have 2 hits. Elder goes 8. Yeah, good move moving him into the he pitched. I had an offline save with the Red Sox where I picked him up for next to nothing, and he ended up as like a 5-win pitcher for me. So, he's got 3+ pitches, good movement. As long as your defense is good, this is a really, really under the radar pickup. Is Bryce Elder? We lost Geloff for 5 weeks, so we have to him to the injured list, and I think we call up how's Montgomery doing in AAA? Yeah, he's raking, but I don't need an outfielder, so I think we go with Jose Rodriguez. 306, 350. Yep, Jose Rodriguez will come up. I'm in a league that's all-time greats where you get 80 points to build a roster. I once did a fantasy draft where you drafted players based on the starting letter of their last name. So you had to pick one player with every, with every last, like starting, if you picked Babe Ruth, that would be your R. If you picked Barry Bonds, that would be your B. And it was really, really hard. And it was just, the added up totals and stuff. So you'd end up going back and looking into like the, 1870s for pitchers that, whose last name started with a V and would give you a ton of innings because you were light on innings or something. It was really interesting. It was hard and I was really bad at it. But it was fun. We got Cashew Ibarra playing. He's bad. He's just bad. No, go away. We're going back to Benny. back to Benny. Benny out in right field. Our backup third baseman will be, how's Rafaela's arm? Should be pretty good, right? It's a 60, and Rodriguez is a 50. Rafaela will be the backup third baseman. And our backup DH against lefties. Yeah, we'll give Rodriguez some games there. And start simming. Or keep simming, I guess. 5-game lead on Detroit. 5-game lead. Look at Detroit. They're not even in second place anymore. They are falling apart. You have Yu Darvish, Randy Johnson, and Santana, then bench, Yount, and Pujols. That's an online thing, not an offline thing. Yandy Diaz, 3 for 6, 4 RBIs. How long do we have Yandy? It's just this year, right? His contract expires after this season? Yeah. I don't think we have any money to bring anybody back. We don't. He wants a crap ton of it, so. This could be it for Diaz, but that's fine. He's 30-something, 36, 34. We have 3 RBIs from Marcelo. That batting average down to 227. Need him to hit 250, 260. A little bit of gap power. I mean, his defense isn't even that great anymore either. Brash goes 4 2/3. Mark Leiter picks up the win. And the final game in Los Angeles. We lose. So we're 40 33, coming home to face Jacob deGrom and the Rangers. There's a 4-3 win. Thank you for following Stroker. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday night. Diaz, 3 hits. Rojas. Glad I re-signed Rojas. He's hitting the ball quite well. And his defense has been terrific. He doesn't want a ton of money, but it's more than I can give him right now. Gorman with 2 hits. I mean, our offense is still really, really bad, and I'll keep harping on it, but we're 14th in runs scored, and we have a 4.5-game lead in the division because our pitching staff is just that good. 9 games. We lose Benny Montgomery again to injury. Not liking the number of times he's getting injured. Marcelo Meyer with 2 RBIs, 2 hits for Diaz, Hunt, and Gorman. Cease goes 5 1/3, and we have to replace Benny again. Who do we do it with this time? Do we give Chappelli a shot? I don't think we do. I think we stick with Kashiwabara just because of the defense. His defense is good enough in right field to make it worth it. Yep, you can do that as well. You can create a stadium with any outfield depth that you want, with any size walls that you want, with any sort of weather conditions, and all of that stuff will affect the yeah, I can do that. And all of that stuff will affect the ballpark effects. Yeah, let's look at the box score real quick, and then Lewis, I'll show you the screen. So Diaz goes 3 for 4. Nootbaar 4 for 5, 4 RBIs. Gorman hits his 9th home run of the year. Elder gets hit hard, but our bullpen does our bullpen things. Yeah, so if I don't think I can actually change it from here. What am I doing? I don't think I can actually change any of it from here. But if I go to commissioner mode, I should be able to. Yeah. You go to edit ballpark, and you can change anything you want. So you can change what type of park it is, the surface, the capacity. You can change all your ballpark factors. And this might explain why we're not a particularly good hitting team. It's the average is suppressed, especially for lefties. Doubles and triples are incredibly suppressed. You can change your distance and wall height and everything else. So yeah, you can change everything you want. Yeah, there is random in SSB when I moved the A's to Portland. David sent me that link, and I created the ballpark from there so that he could just upload it. All right, we're almost into July. So yeah, Lewis, you can create really anything you want in this game. So we're taking on Tampa. They're 36-40. We're 10 games over 500. Make it 11. We win 6-5 here. We walk it off. We gave up 3 runs in the 8th to let them tie it, but we walked it off. Diaz has his average up over 300, so he's doing Yandy Diaz things, but that's really it. Diaz, Nootbaar, Rojas, all homer. Rojas walked it off in the 9th with a home run. Brash 5 1/3, 2 runs. Meyer gave up 3 runs. Looks like Robinson actually gave them up. Another game against Tampa. We lose 6-1. Tanner Houck on the bump today against Shane Baz. We win 7-4. Quan has 3 hits. If he can end the season, given the way the season started, if he can end it at 260, he's probably a left fielder, realistically. He hasn't even been good defensively, and we're paying him a crap ton of money. Hopefully he picks that up. Houck strikes out 9-4. We got in Oakland for 4 games now. Lose 4-3-12. Noah Syndergaard pitching for the Oakland A's now. Right, you can't do promotions. Change ticket prices, but you can't change the price of hot dogs. You just affect ticket prices. So we win the last game of June, 7-4. We are 11 games over 500. That was a really, really good month for the White Sox. Rosarena, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Parker Meadows has a couple hits. Diaz homers. Elder gives up 4 and 5, but our bullpen does a nice job. 17-9. We're 33-22 in our last 55 games. You like to see that. 1-run games, things is evened out a little bit. We're still terrible offensively, but a way to drive revenue. That you start getting into like MLB The Show when you start getting into that stuff, don't you? Increasing the price of peanuts and stuff like that. Isn't that like a MLB The Show thing? Yeah. All right, so Vera, his stuff and his movement both dropped to 75. The pitch, he may ultimately end up being a reliever. But I want to see how this season works out. And frankly, if he ends up with these numbers as our number 5 starter, I would probably be okay with that. But we'll see how the rest of the year goes. Cruz, still on a rehab assignment, pitching well down in Charlotte. Caleb Appleby, he's pitching okay in Double-A. Still curious what sort of returns I could get for Caleb. Ezra Denny, they used to have promotion. They did? That had to have been a really long time ago because I've been playing since Out of the Park 7 and I don't remember that. Then again, I'm also old and my memory could be failing at this point, but you're buying the plane for Major League. So you can trade him straight up for Drew Jones. No, we got a couple of decent pitchers here. Chase McDermott, meh. Grayson Rodriguez, meh. If I trade him, it's not going to be for a pitcher because he is a pitcher. Not that we need pitching. What we need hitting is what we need, but my guess is the deadline won't give us anything that is super, super good, but we'll take a look. Oof. 21 years old. Upfront cost for a boost in fan interest for that one game. Someone on the forum says there's an option. Can you check the league settings? Yeah. Guessing it would be under financials. Team owner controls budget. I don't see anything. For one game, Ezra, that seems foolish, frankly. Like, I don't know that I would want to get that involved in the day-to-day of the finances. That would be ridiculous. They say it's in league setup. Here? What is league setup? That's not an option. It's not anything I ever remember seeing. I don't know. I'd be interested to see that if somebody's able to actually tell me where it is. All right. What do we got? We got Alex Santos going against Matt Brash. We win 7-2. Brash's ERA has climbed over 2. That's not good. Offense spread out here. Sugaste, Rojas each with 2 hits. Same with Diaz. Gorman, first player on our team to 10 home runs. Brash gives up 2 and 5. Final game, Matt Boyd. 2 and 12 for Matt Boyd, and it's July 2nd. Oof. He's had himself a challenging 3 seasons in Oakland. That's 19 and 38 in 2.5 years with Oakland. That's not good. Final game of the series. Just thinking about it, and of course we lose. You add a little extra to t-shirt night, and you got a ticket boost out by OOTP 5. Let me read the rest of the forum post. You know how those, they talk about, Oakland is where pitchers go to die. Yeah, that's for sure. But 19 and 38 in 2.5 seasons, on pace to lose 24 games. So he's happy with us because we're doing the things that he wants, but I don't really care. Barry, we absolutely have to bring back. He's pitching. Why am I in commissioner mode? Oh, because I was showing the stadium things. Rick Hahn. Am I interested in bringing Rick Hahn back? I don't think I am. Not at $1 million. We can probably sign a GM for half that. He doesn't want to put any money into development. I don't think we re-sign Rick Hahn. Top 100 prospects. Serena's up to 7. White Sox are up to number 2. Serena's 7th. Appleby is 13th. Cesares, so it's pitchers. We have 4 pitchers in the top 100 and no bats. So I know what we're going after in, where is he hurt? Where is, he's down to a 60. Super cool. Awesome. Yeah, we need some offense in the upcoming draft. We can probably call up Mullinax, even though he's hurt. We need some offense. But I think this is going to be the first draft that isn't crap. Usually it takes, 3 years to get through all the garbage drafts in out of the park baseball? Current ownership. Well, I mean, part of that is the stadium. I mean, part of the reason they lose, you get pitchers with losing records, is because they're terrible. But part of the reason you get pitchers who put up good numbers there is because of the stadium. Like Dave Stewart was a journeyman until he went to Oakland. Yeah, it was a great pitcher's ballpark. Yeah. I got Houston for 3. The Astros are 41 and 42. We're in Houston for 3. We win game 1 in 10 innings. 3 hits for Arozarena, 3 RBIs for Randy and Nootbaar. I don't know that we bring Nootbaar back. I really don't. I mean, especially given what he wants in arbitration. It's down to 21 now, but still, given how he's hitting this year, I don't know that we bring him back. We just sort of have to, I guess, wait and see. Second game in Houston. 8-7 loss. And Bryce Elder going today. Lose 2 out of 3 in Houston. All right. Home against the Yankees. Nestor Cortez. Lost 3 straight now. There we go. Bounce back with a 4-1 victory. Nootbaar with a 3-run homer. With a 3-run homer. Marcelo Meyer homers. This is what this is what I'm hoping for Vera, right? If you can give us 5 innings and 10 Ks, only walking 1. I mean, that's what you're hoping for. Garrett Cole, and then we got the Cubs coming to town right at the draft. We pick up our 50th win of the season. We are 50 and 39. Nootbaar. As soon as I say we're not going to re-sign Nootbaar, he goes out and has back-to-back 3-hit games. Stephen Kwan with his 80 avoid K strikes out 3 times. Meadows and Lars each homer. Houck goes 5. Eligio Paredes going for the Cubbies. We've got Cease on the mound. Dylan looking for win number 8. And he doesn't get it, but we win 5. Why did he not get it? He pitched 3 1/3 innings. Stop. Don't hook him. Do I really need to bump that up even more? I think it's fine with how good our bullpen is. It's just annoying. Rojas hits his 5th home run. Arozarena hits his 9th. All right, draft day. Let's sim the game. It's a 5-0 win. We'll look at that, and then we'll get into the draft. Nootbaar. Yeah, as soon as I talk about Lars and how we're not going to re-sign him, he has 3 home runs and 9 RBIs in his last 4 games. He's upped his OPS 40 points in the last 4 days. Elder, 6 shutout innings, getting the win. And it's draft day. How many games are we up right now? We're up 7. It doesn't hurt that the rest of the teams in our division are awful. Let's save this real quick. He has I have all my pitchers set at 100. I guess I could bump Cease up to 110, given that he's a little bit more of a veteran guy. Yeah, all my pitchers have 100. Bump him up, I guess. All right, draft. So we're picking 25th. The mock draft has us taking Jeremy Pike. You know how much I love taking 17 and 18-year-olds in the draft. Well, let's see how it goes. Start draft. That's not what I wanted to look at. Oof. Like this to me, like if he falls to me, look at his nickname, all in caps, Big Boss. Look at that. Big Boss Mike Fox. Would love for him to fall to me. Or Dylan Lemley. Given that they're both 21. Look at this draft, guys. We may actually get some talent in this draft. Hell. This is crazy. All right. Let's just sim to our pick. All right. No, it looks like we got a lot of kids. Jeremy Hepburn, a little bit more advanced. He looks okay. This is the guy they want us to take. Kim is chilling. A 23-year-old, 25 current ability is a no from you. Well, we don't get to take him anyway. Zach Shaw. He's an impossible sign. Bobby Batista. High work ethic, but he's a corner outfielder. Not crazy about taking a corner outfielder. Steve Deathblow. Great nickname, man. Great nicknames. I said we might get to take a good player in this draft. It's still debatable. Deathblow, right. Like, I mean, that's a nickname, man. Unfortunately, where did he go? Who did he go to? Oh, he went first. He went first overall to the Cubs. Oh, no, that's Big Boss. I'm sorry. Big Boss went first overall to the Cubs. Deathblow. What am I going to continue draft? Aliscar Pitts. Good bat, but not much else. Maybe. I mean, the overall is a 20. I don't like that profile. It's good defensively, but Alston's a second baseman. You've never seen Riley Jackson develop the defense. Yeah, I mean, he looked good, right? I mean, that's a really solid bat for a college player, but that's exactly what he is, just a bat, and he can't play anywhere else. Yeah, random task. That was Arizona. The Diamondbacks moved to Columbus. Vince Ashton. Yeah, again, I don't like that profile with the contact, the high gap power, low I don't like that. Let's take a look at pitchers because this ended up being really disappointing. Work ethic. Are you kidding me? I mean, I hate taking high school pitchers like with a passion, but like you look at someone like David Polanco. He's already 30s across the board. High leader, high loyalty, high work ethic. He's a ground ball pitcher, 70 stamina. At the end of last, no, it happened in the middle of the offseason, I think. I was going to make a trade with Arizona, and then I simmed ahead a day, and I went to go make the deal again, and I couldn't find Arizona. And it's because they had moved to Columbus. No hands. Yeah, that's a nickname. That is a nickname. I really hate taking high school pitchers, but someone like this, I mean, the fact that he's a sidearm pitcher is a little concerning. Stantrell Allen. I mean, this is the definition of like, low ceiling, high floor kind of guy. Man, if we were picking 20th instead of 25th, but again, we don't. I mean, there's a lot of those like low ceiling, high floor kind of guys. Like I like Joe Widman. Colin McKinney, I like even more. He's an easy sign. He's not great, but we don't need another pitcher. What we need is a bat. We need some sort of impact bat, and they're just, I don't know. Yes, just like the Colts. Literally, they just moved in the middle of the night. Prodigious power skills. Zach, I mean, he's a second. He's an impossible sign. His nickname is Wino. I would consider Zach Shaw just because of, I mean, well, the hitting profile and his nickname is Wino. If you need hitting, just trade. No, he's a probably a third baseman, maybe a second baseman, but he's also an impossible sign. So, um, if you need hitting, just trade a pitcher. Yeah, I know. So what do you guys think? Do I take a shot at one of those high school pitchers? I mean, I'm so like against drafting high school pitchers, but you got ground ball guys. You got Juan Arce. Puppet is his nickname. Wants $7.5 million. The changeup likely never develops, so he's probably a two-pitch pitcher. So he's probably a no-go because the slider will never develop past that, and the changeup doesn't get beyond 20. Sean Fairborn, finesse pitcher. He's 6'5". You have to think that he fills out a little bit. I mean, but that's an ace. High intelligence. The pitchers were way better. These guys stink. You sound like what's that? The fan from Major League. I'd rather have two good pitchers in trade one than have one good pitcher. Yeah, I know. Especially in baseball, you can't draft based off need, right? I mean, you just can't do that. How is Tim Brannon? Was he a pitcher? Oh yeah, he's a relief pitcher. He's good, but he's a relief pitcher. I'm leaning Fairborn. We got Fairborn. We got Polanco, who is the side armor with elite control, high work ethic. Or do we go high floor, low ceiling? Fairborn is a good pitch mix if you ignore that they are fastballs. Yeah, I guess. Can Brandon hit? No. His nickname is Nutball. These are just ridiculous nicknames. McKinney can play in Double A. Right. That's kind of the way I'm thinking about it. It looks like he's also got. This is also what I like to look at. It looks like his stuff has gotten better. Look at his ratings have gotten better here recently as well. Hasn't picked up any velocity, which is always nice to see when you see an uptick, but have development of draftees on. Didn't know that was a thing. I mean, he is developed, so I would assume so. He's 6'6", 215. So I think I'm leaning. I mean, I like Polanco because I like the 70 stamina and the 80 control. Fastball, slider, splitter. The negative he has going for him is that he's a sidearm. So Fairborn, Polanco, or McKinney. Those are the three that I'm looking at. McKinney's a fly ball pitcher, which isn't great in guaranteed rate because it is a home run park. He would be the easiest signee. Thank you for the follow, T. Fiorit. What's the mock on McKinney and Fairborn? McKinney 27th to the Twins, and Fairborn in the second round here to Texas. So my guess is whichever one I take, the other one is not there for me in the next round. A guy who already has a 65 curveball out of college is pretty rare. So are we taking the 22-year-old? With the hope that this development curve continues to. I mean, his potential. Yeah, his overall jumped, but his potential didn't. So he's kind of been this what he is since the beginning. Colin McKinney. His unimpressive stuff makes up for pinpoint control. It looks like it ended up as a number 2 if he can develop to his full potential. Nasty curveball and a promising changeup. You'd go Fairborn, but you don't think either move is worse than the other. Makings of a future ace. Yeah, there's not much on him. I think I'm going to take McKinney with the hope that Fairborn slips through the cracks. I don't think he will, but that's my hope. So we're going to go low ceiling, high floor Colin McKinney with the 25th pick overall. It can. I've had such bad luck with who's this? I've had such bad luck with drafting so far in Out of the Park 24 that I've just been leaning more towards the sure things, even if they're not quite as good. So we're gonna take Colin McKinney. Let's get to our next pick, and let's see. Yeah, he's gone. All right, that's fine. That is fine. You got Chase Bess, who again is probably not going to develop. Yeah, that's the thought process, right? All right. Now that we're in the second round, I'm not. I mean, do we roll the dice on Zach Shaw and see what he wants? What's our draft? I mean, my guess, our draft budget is what? Not a lot. Yeah, we don't have the money for it. Okay. I would love to roll the dice on someone like Zach Shaw, but there's just no chance we could sign him. Yeah, I mean that's the whole argument, though, right? Like, do you take him and hope that he works out, or do you just go with the guy who's more of a sure thing? Josh Walston, he's a second baseman. That's good contact. Good gap power. I mean, terrible eye and discipline. That's not a bad option. And we're in a commercial again. Riley Jackson's still there. If Jackson's there in the third round, maybe. You got any pitchers up here? No. Riley Jackson still being there is intriguing. And the glove is just barely passable, but I'm kind of looking at Walston. He's a second baseman. I don't know. How much do I trust my minor league coaches to not much, because I don't have the patience to manage my minor league systems. So I don't deal with coaches. It's something I probably should do, but I don't pay much attention to that, truth be told. Dan Zanger. Extreme great. He's, again, a side armor. Dan Zanger, the sheriff. He's a little dude, 5'11", 165. He just slings it up there, sidearm at 94 to 96. I love it. Love it. High work ethic here. This might be pitcher. How did Jamie Peterson look? Ground ball pitcher. I like him. Fastball, curveball, sinker. He wants slot. Ground baller, which I like. No nickname, though. No nickname. That's a little concerning. I would rather go with someone like Dan the Sheriff Zanger, who throws it sidearm at 94 to 96. But Peterson does have the high intelligence. I mean, they're both pretty good, assuming they develop, which is always the question. I think we go pitcher. Do we go with the extreme ground baller, though? The side armor is always a little concerning. It means he has no confidence. Right, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Right, like, I mean, worst case scenario, you give yourself a nickname, right? If someone else isn't going to give you a nickname, you give yourself one. You'd go with one of the hitters. Which hitter would you go with, random task? Ugly girlfriend, too. Right. No confidence. Right. Exactly. OSA likes him about the same as we do. Talent to flourish and hold down a mid-rotation spot. Eventual mid-rotation starter. Subpar stuff with... I don't know about subpar stuff with 94 to 96. Did you just make that name up? You just made that name up, didn't you? Did 100%. You just made that name up. I don't appreciate that. I think I'm gonna go pitcher. And if Pat Fishman, Fleischman. No, I don't like this guy at all. I shouldn't say I don't like him at all. He's good defensively. Truthful Jim. I think they just are. I think they're just making stuff up just to try to get people to laugh. I really want Zach Shaw, but we're not going to be able to sign. We're not going to be able to sign him. I think I'm going pitcher. Yeah, Kim, that was my thought too. I mean, if his eye was a 50, then yeah, because then he becomes a leadoff hitter. But I think I'm going Zanger. I think I'm going Zanger just because his last name is Zanger. He's the sheriff, and he's an extreme ground ball pitcher. Could come back to bite me, but I'm going to take Dan Zanger with my second pick. Oh, I don't think I can. Slots 1.6. What did Peterson want? 2.8. Okay, well, neither of those are great. Morrow had the high work ethic. He's 6'3". He wants slot. Let's make sure I cut this here. I bet you he's there with the next pick. I'm going to take Chad Morrow here. Again, he's a sidearm pitch. I don't... Ugh. Sucks not having any money. First guy we signed wanted... It's not what I wanted to do. Easy. So we could probably get him below slot. Just go under slot in the third round. Yeah. All right. You're right. All right. We're going to go Zanger. We're going to go the sheriff. We're going to go the sheriff in the second round. We'll see if Jackson is still there. He is. Okay. Cool. We're going to take Riley Jackson in the third round. I mean, the bat is there. We'll see if the glove can develop alongside with it. But he was once under slot. He has a big league bat. We'll see. We'll see. Riley Jackson in the third round. All right. Let's start looking at fielding. Oops, what did I just do? Pete Sullivan. Wow, we got some good defense in here. Holy wow. And he's never going to hit, but all that blue's making my eyes hurt. Barcenas. Play everywhere. Dupuis. And there are some decent, I should say decent, there's some really good defensive players in this draft. Vince Saul. What about infield range? Bat's not really great, but that's really good defensive. I think this is our pick, guys. I think this is our pick. William Couture. He is fantastic defensively, literally everywhere. If the bat develops, I mean, if OSA is right and this is what his bat turns into, I think we take Willem Couture. I'd be willing to bet that Connell will be there with the next pick. I'm going to take Willem Couture here in the 4th round. And Connell is still there. We can take him in the 5th round. Good ability, but can't hit. Good catcher ability, but can't hit. Woody Gibbon. Good names, man. Good names. Individual pitch potential. Individual pitch potential. No, just go. Pitchers. Josh. My good friend Josh Beer. Here you go, my man. TJ Ferris, a 6'2", 190-pound knuckleballer out of South Mountain Community College in Phoenix, Arizona. He's committed to Texas Tech. Has the 75 knuckleball. Throws 84 to 86. High work ethic, high adaptability, high loyalty. There you go, my man. TJ Ferris. Let's go. We get the knuckleballer. I knew you would like that. Cutter, or circle change rather. Nobody with really good circle changes there. High work ethic. Yeah, Josh, you're trying to figure out some way to trade for him from my league to yours. Cal Randall, good fastball, good curveball. Okay. Get behind a Cal Randall, 21-year-old out of UCLA. Sure. Not my pick, though. And somebody took him. Luis Cesares. No nickname. Yeah, he had no nickname. We're going to have to give him a nickname. We're going to have to come up with a nickname. Nahomar Ochoa Acosta. Wow. I'm glad we looked. I would have been devastated if somebody had taken that knuckleballer. Andy Anderson is not any good. No. Xavier Cardenas is always somebody I like taking because of the high work ethic. Big kid. Looks really bad in this version, though. Nope. Yeah, high work ethic, 75 overall knuckleballers don't fall out of the sky very often. Brad Callen, yes, sir. 18 years old, and he's 6'7", 210. We'll take the 6'7", 210-pound lefty who throws 91 miles an hour. Sure. Go to our next pick. Batting potential. Yeah, not a great draft offensively, it appeared once you got through that first handful. Garrett Mesh is still there. I mean, there's no reason not to take a Garrett Mesh if OSA is right. We're going to take Garrett Mesh. Sure, with the 60 power, 70i. And it's one of those times you want OSA to be right. Colton Hartman, we may take him because he's developed and he's got the high work ethic. Still has some room for growth, so that high work ethic might propel him forward a little bit. Is this the son of Scott Servais? A 6'6" catcher. Oof. High work ethic. I think we'll take him just because of the high work ethic. I don't know that the defensive ratings ever change, but we will take him nonetheless. What do we got here? Pete Sullivan. He's still there. We're going to take Pete Sullivan now. West Virginia State University. Right, that's what I was thinking, a 6'6" catcher. I'm going to take Pete Sullivan. Kim, I usually, once I get to this point in a draft, I usually look for a particular skill, be it like this particular guy is really fast, great outfield, great defensively. If TCR can nick his contact to a 50, now all of a sudden he's a fourth outfielder. So we're going to take Pete Sullivan here. It's a good Boston name there. I guarantee you his nickname would be Sully. Sort by power. What do we got? Lexter Crane. Yeah, we can take a Lexter Crane. Looks like he's got, that's 65 power. Who knows? Oh, come on. Andy Pupula? Papula? What draft? 13th round. There's not much left here, guys. Jeff Goodman, high work ethic. Yeah, I tend to gravitate towards, like everybody, towards those high work ethic guys and hope that drives some future development. Chad Lewis looks okay. Pretty good defensively. Sure. Xavier Massey goes to Rutgers. Again, high work ethic. I haven't taken a pitch in a while. You're right. Like this, if he had a high work ethic, this would be the kind of player I like to take late. He's 6'5", 200 pounds, has 3 potentially good pitches. If TCR takes his control to a 50, in fact, we might just do it because he's only 17 and who cares? Mike Arnold, high leader, movement's brutal. The changeup will never develop. Randy Snyder. Yeah, we'll take Randy Snyder just because of the work ethic. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to get to the deadline today, guys. We're going to keep going for another 20 minutes or so, and then I'm going to call it. I want to go watch Barry and eat dinner. I am starving, and my wife made pierogies, so I would like to go eat those. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pitches. I think I'm going to call it here. I think I'm going to let the AI finish up the draft, let them do the last 2 rounds. I can't be bothered. And we need to negotiate. All right, so we'll sign Zanger first. I sign the players that are over slot first, which would then allow us to offer these guys slot. We did that the right way. If we had signed McKinney first, we wouldn't have been able to sign Zanger. So do this the right way. All right. I don't know. The draft, I mean, that draft looked really, really good at the top, but did he already get better? I don't remember his, I want to say his stuff was a 50. Wasn't his stuff a 50 when we drafted him? Yeah, and his curveball was a 65. He got better already. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, he already got better. So he'll start in Double A and save us some money down the road. All right, so All-Star game. Who got named to the All-Star team? Matt Brash, no surprise with his 4-0, 1.91. I usually have a hard don't start higher than A rule, but I might do high A ball, but it's going to be either high A or A ball. So we get Brash and Cease making it as starters. Leiter makes it. Leiter really is our only reliever. So we have 3 pitchers make it. And then offensively, I can't imagine we had anybody. Yeah, we had 3 pitchers make it, and that was it. Look at Masataka Yoshida, 360. Let's go. Prospects, Caleb Appleby's on there. I think Appleby might be a trade chip with Serna and McKinney now. We might be able to move on. Ugh. He's up to a 70 stuff in movement now. I mean, our starting rotation could be Appleby, Serna, McKinney, Cease, and whoever else. Although I'm interested as to what we could get for Appleby. I'm gonna keep looking. Doesn't seem to be harming his development at all. Yeah, no offense no offensive players on the futures game. All right, so it's the 12th. We're 52 and 39. Offense still struggling, but we have a 7-game lead, so I don't know that we need to change a whole hell of a lot, honestly. We sweep the Cubs. Dr. Dynastic, what's happening, my man? How are you? What is going on? So Matt Brash, the all-star Matt Brash, pitches 5 innings, sees his ERA increase, giving up those 2 runs. He's 5-0 on the year. And just for S's and G's, let's see if there's anything here that is uber intriguing. Or maybe we just have a completely homegrown starting rotation. And we just keep leaning into this our pitching staff is really, really good thing. Or maybe I can find a potential prospect bat that they're looking to trade, and then I can make it work a different direction. None of these are really standing out to me as somebody I would trade straight up for Appleby. Yeah, they're all just sort of okay. Just rest in peace, thanks. I try not to, I swear enough in real life, I try not to do it on stream, too. South of the scene. Look at this. A 16-year-old. I don't trust those ratings for a second, though. I wonder if that's a player I can get. Jesus Ramirez. He was somebody that they showed interest in sending to us previously. I mean, there are a couple of decent names here. Yeah, he is. I don't know if I want to keep him, though. I don't know if I want to keep him or if I want to use him to improve our offense, which is abysmal. Let's do it this way. Let's get rid of prospects. this is a financial thing. This is because we can't afford. I would think though that there would be some young players that are making the minor league minimum, but nope. All right, well that's fine. We will. Yeah, I mean we could be running with, yeah, I mean really any of these guys. I mean we have. You look at our minor leagues right now. We're loaded kind of for bear with pitchers. We got Cruz, who's on a rehab assignment, and he's going to come up and be a bullpen arm. Once that stuff goes up to, I think it's a 60 as a bullpen arm. Taylor Dollard, who struggled in the majors this year, he's been really, really good in AAA, so he'll be back up sooner rather than later. And we got Serna, who's up probably next season. In fact, both of these players probably need to be called up now, Serna and Appleby. We just drafted another pitcher. We got the Sheriff, Dan Zanger, 5'11", $160. Disable. Let's get to our next game. Yeah, I'm winding down for the night myself as well. I usually like to end around 9. You got the added bonus of Barry starting tonight. I didn't realize the new season of Barry was starting today, so it'll be a nice way to end my streams for the next handful of Sundays. A stream until Barry starts, and then get started. I literally don't have anybody to send down. I mean, Cantorino, we called up when Cruz got hurt, and he's been really, really good. We deal from a position of strength. Financially, where do we look at the Barry pre-funk? I don't know what that means. What relievers do we have that are going to get expensive? Arrighetti jumps up to 6 and then 10, potentially 10.5. I don't know that I can justify trading him though. Rodriguez has been really good this year. Cam Robinson is like there's just like none of these pitchers have like. Just curious. Yeah. Oh yes. This is the pre-Barry party, the pre-party, if you will. You see, this is the issue. Like Spencer Arrighetti to get a 50 overall potential bat back in return just doesn't make any sense. It makes more sense for me to just hold on to Arrighetti. Then I got to figure out what to do with Cruz. Because he is a Rule 5 guy, and I don't want to lose him. Toronto wanted... I want to see something. Toronto wanted... So throw in a player who can really contribute, and I'll consider the offer. So we get a couple of make this works, and this isn't anything we've done yet this episode. So Appleby or Serna. Okay. All right. I was just curious. Kenny Gomez. We had him in our Oakland A's playthrough last season. But this means we now need to figure out what we're doing with Cruz. That's a super small sample size, but he was really good in that sample size. We claimed him. Maybe we can sneak him through waivers? I mean, what are the odds we can sneak him through waivers? That's the question. What are the odds we can sneak him through waivers? Or, I mean, alternatively, okay, we can just do that. Cantorino can go down and Cruz can come back up. that's fine. I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. All right, so we are in Washington now. We've got Tanner Houck on the mound for us. Tanner looking for win number 5 against Bailey Ober, who's 10-5 on the year. We win 3-1. Who pitched today? It wasn't Houck. It was Houck. 6 2/3 shutout innings. He can't pick up the win because we can't get him any runs. Cruz comes in. He gets the win. Robinson the save. Marcelo Meyer with a solo home run. Rosarena a couple hits. Newpar drives in a couple. Game 2. Matt Brash. Did Brash pitch again? He did. Okay, give up 3 runs in 5. All right, final game of the series at Washington. Bryce Elder on the bump. Another 3-1 victory. So more low-scoring games. Rojas, Sugiste, Marcelo Meyer homers for back-to-back games. Bryce Elder continues to pitch well. What do we got on the block? Sort of offense. Jose Alvarado, we could get him back from Colorado. I don't need any pitchers. Michael Brantley, but he's hurt. There's nothing here, man. Nothing here. What do we got coming up in free agents? Not that we're going to be able to sign anybody. We don't have any money. Yeah, it's a good thing we don't have any money because, well, free agency's not all that good here. Yeah, not much going on in free agency either. I don't know that we're going to be super active at the deadline. Philadelphia for 3. For 4, Benny Montgomery continues to get hurt or stay hurt. His ratings are starting to take a hit because of it. All right, we're at Philadelphia now with Dylan on the mound. Cease looking for his 8th win. And he gets it. Diaz, Kwan, Rosarena each have 2 hits. Runs from Rosarena. Meyer homers for a 3rd straight game or something. Rafaela homers. He strikes out 10 and 7. Another game against Kansas or against Philadelphia. We lose 8-3. Houck now on the mound. Vera's ERA up to 4.85. We might have to talk about taking him out of the rotation here sooner rather than later. Kansas City comes in. Our lead is down to 6 because we've lost 2 straight. Make it 3 straight. Jaloff is ready to come off the DL. We'll send Rodriguez back down. What am I doing? Jaloff back up at 3rd. Lefties, he will back up at DH every 5th game. Back up at 3rd, play every 4th game. We've lost 3 games. 3 every 4th game. We've lost 3 in a row for the first time in a while. Lead is 6. Elder on the hill. Make it 4 straight losses. Are we about to get swept by the 10-game under 500 Kansas City Royals? Our lead's down to 5. It is. We got swept by Kansas City. 5 straight losses. Not what you would call ideal. Our lead is still 5, but that's not good. At least we're back home here for Pittsburgh. There we go. An 8-7 win in 10. Kwan's got his average up to 235. It's climbing. It's climbing. It's still a poor season, 647 OPS, 80 OPS plus, but it's climbing. Rosarena with 3 hits. Nootbaar drives in a couple, hits his 14th home run. Vera does okay. Arrighetti and Robinson struggle, but we end up winning anyway. Martin Perez against Tanner Houck. There we go. Back-to-back wins. We settle things down a little bit. Quan, 3 more hits, up over 240 now. Second on the team in RBIs with 48. Meadows and Quan each homer. Bullpen does their job. I don't think there's... Yoshida, but I mean, he's got 2 years left. If I can get the Sox to eat it, I mean, Red Sox want to eat his contract, I would trade for him. I'm not paying you anything for it, but okay, so it's not that far off. What if I also gave you Kashiwabara? Let's just see. Okay, there we go. Johnny Ray. So we are going to trade Lloydell Chappelli along with Canby Kashiwabara and Johnny Ray, who, for all intents and purposes, looks like he could be pretty good, but and we'll trade for Masataka Yoshida, who will play primarily as a DH and bat him against righties, and we don't have to pay him a penny. So that works for me. That works for me. We don't have to pay him a penny. So we can call him up. The lineups. What do we want to do? So Meadows can come out of the lineup. Yoshida can come in. This is going to hurt our defense because Nootbaar is really only a left fielder. That pushes a Rosarena to right, which is passable. And then against lefties, look at Jake Jaloff and his 159 batting average. He'll go in as our right fielder. And we will play Yoshida in the field occasionally just to give Nootbaar a break. Cool. So we are going to get to the deadline. I didn't think I was going to do that. And I didn't feel rushed tonight, so that's good. We got Cleveland coming to town here for the last couple games before the deadline. We win 8-0 here. Diaz 2 for 3, 3 runs scored. Yoshida goes 0 for 3 in his debut. It looks like Gorman hit a grand slam. He did. A Rosarena and Diaz each homer. Brash 6-1 with a 2.42 earned run average. And it's the deadline. Let's get into the deadline real quick. See if there are any potential pickups that we want to make. I don't think there are. I think we're pretty good. Chris Sale, 70 overall reliever Chris Sale is on the block. Yeah, I think we're good. I don't think we need to do anything else. So let's just go ahead and finish the day. See how we finish up July. We'll take a look at our stats, and we will call it a stream. Was kind of hoping to turn the schedule on its head a little bit. Every stream I've done so far has been the beginning of the season through the draft. I'd like to do a stream where we do the off season, but I don't want to wait a week to play again. Like I don't want to wait until next Sunday night to play again. So maybe I just get through the end of the season this year, regardless of how it goes, and then next Sunday we do the off season. That might be fun. Yoshida's still looking for his first hit as a member of the White Sox now. Rafaela, a couple hits. Nootbaar, a couple hits, couple RBIs. His 15th home run of the year. Elder goes 6 shutout. So So we shut out the Indians on back-to-back games, and we finish the month. Oh, did we sign all of our draft picks? Have we not signed our top picks yet? No, where are they? Are they hurt already? Yeah. Are you kidding me? He's hurt already. All right. It's fine. They all are. They're all hurt. Riley Jackson is hurt already. He got better as well. The bat got better. The catcher ability didn't, but he got hurt as well, and so did Mesh. So a lot of our players got hurt right out of the chute. All right. So we finished. We're 60-45. We are 7 games up on the Twins, and I don't think I'm gonna play anymore until I do my next video, which will probably be Tuesday or Wednesday. I think we'll just do the rest of the regular season and the off season in the next video. That way we can do the off season next Sunday. So offensively, I can't. Yoshida, Arozarena, 2.7 WAR. Yeah, I mean, he had a really, really bad first season with us. I'm glad I'm glad we kept him around. The last 2 seasons have been really good. His contract jumps up to $24 million the next 2 years. That may be a hindrance for us. Miguel Rojas. Yeah, at least it's not his elbow. You're right. Miguel Rojas had a nice year considering we signed him for $7 million. He's done a nice job. Andy Diaz putting up a .350 on base percentage. I'm good there. Blake Hunt is our Rule 5 guys, hitting the ball pretty damn well. 111 OPS plus is our backup catcher. Marcelo Meyer, not great. 222. This is when you start getting into the not great, right? Nolan Gorman only hitting 230, does have 13 home runs. Nootbaar, 800 OPS, 15 home runs. Kwan is starting to come around. If you look at his batting splits, yeah, 329 in July, so by far his best month. Rafaela has been slightly below average, playing all over the place. Sugastay's not hitting. But our pitching, man, our pitching is where it's at. Dylan Cease, 8-6, 3.52 ERA. Some of these bullpen ERA pluses are just absurd. Raylan Perez, 271. Giovanni Cruz, 243. 164. 185. Yeah, it's just crazy. So yeah, it's been good. We've got a couple of elite pitchers that are due to come up next season as well. It looks like Alamon got better. It's because they made him a reliever. But Serna, he'll be in the rotation next season. He's struggling in his 2 starts so far in AAA. Appleby will probably be up next year as well. So we are going to have some interesting decisions to make in the offseason because we have more pitching than we know what to do with at this point. Michael Mullinax was our first-round pick a couple of years ago, and he's hitting the ball. He's hitting the ball. I don't know that he's, ever going to hit enough, but he's hitting the ball a little bit. Arias we picked up from the Yankees. So that's kind of where we are. So my next video will be August, September, the rest of the regular season. And then next Sunday, we will do the off season together. So that's going to do it, guys. It's time to go watch Barry. If you haven't watched Barry before, go watch Barry. It's a fantastic show. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for hanging out tonight. And I will talk to y'all later this week. See ya.